All right, welcome in, everybody. Happy Monday. Nobody in here yet, but that's okay. Adrian Hegg says, today is a good day to get back on track. Go Birds. Amen. I would agree. I hope they do. We'll see what happens tonight. Each series, as the year goes on, is becoming bigger and bigger for the Orioles. They've got to start winning series. And we'll see if they can start tonight, as they've got a big test ahead of them in Detroit, who is right behind them in the playoff hunt. And the Orioles are going to have to do something, and they're going to have to do it quick. Hey, Jeannie, welcome in. But coming off, out of the All-Star break, they went into Houston. They won 3 in a row in Houston, and that was great. And then, they lost 2 or 3 from Boston. Played them tough, but lost 2 out of 3 in Boston. Lost 2 out of 3 to Atlanta. And, you can find moral victories anywhere you want, but in the end, the Orioles got to start winning ball games. What's up, Horizons? The moral victories, hey, they played a good team tough. They only lost by 1 run. That's not going to do it at this point. We need wins. Orioles they got to find ways to win ball games. Good teams find ways to win. Bad teams find ways to lose. And that's exactly where they are. Amy Henneman, welcome in. Good to see you. The Orioles still have a golden opportunity. They're still only 2.5 games out of the last playoff spot. They have an opportunity, but you've got to start winning ball games, and you've got to start winning series. If they can stack wins again, that would be great. Are you predicting that the Yankees sweep White Sox beginning tomorrow? I don't know, Horizons. Sweeps are hard in baseball. I think it's very, very hard to say a sweep. I don't know yet. The Orioles are 2.5 games out of the playoff spots right now, but they got 4 teams ahead of them. Guardians, Twins, Mariners, and Astros are all ahead of them. But we'll see what happens. The Orioles are right there. They've got to figure out a way to start winning ball games again. The starting pitching for the Orioles has been absolutely fantastic. Probably the best ERA in baseball since, I think, end of May. And it's just, they can't get offense going. Yesterday, the Orioles lost 3-2 to the Braves, and the Orioles went 0 for 10 with runners in scoring position. 0 for 10. Just, that's unforgivable. There's no way you can go 0 for 10. 10 chances at getting a run home or getting a hit with men in scoring position. They go 0 for 10. Just bad. After Detroit, they got to go to Philadelphia and play the Phillies, who are a good team. And then they get the Angels, and then they get Texas. So it's coming. I mean, they have the hardest schedule in the second half of the season. So they've got to find ways to win ball games. And the best way to do that is you've just got to be consistent across the board. Good pitching, good hitting, good defense, and you're going to win a lot of games. One aspect of those 3, it seems each night, fails the Orioles. Whether it's the good pitching, then they don't get good defense. Or if they get good defense and pitching, they don't hit. Or if they get a few runs, then the bullpen gives it up. Or they don't field well. It's a combination. They seem to find ways every single day to lose. They shoot themselves in the foot. But it is what it is. So we'll see if the Orioles can do something to hopefully turn that around. They're going to see Keider Montero tonight. They're going to see Melton tomorrow. And then on Wednesday, they're going to see Tarek Skubal on Wednesday. So Orioles need to do something quick. Anyway, good to have everybody in here. Adrian Hegg, Jeannie's here, Horizons is here, Amy Henneman is here. Welcome in. If you are new, please consider subscribing. We would appreciate that very, very much. Our like goal is not on the board. Why is it not on the board? There it is. There's our like goal. And let's see what happens. All right, let's talk about lineups for the visiting Orioles. You've got Dylan Beavers leading off in right field. Pete Alonso batting second at first base. Gunnar Henderson batting third. Gunner's DHing tonight. Interesting lineup tonight. Batting fourth in left field is Taylor Ward. I have no idea why he's batting fourth. Batting fifth in center field is Leody Taveras. Batting sixth at shortstop is Jackson Holliday. Batting 7th at third base is Kobe Mayo. Batting 8th at second base is Jeremiah Jackson. And batting 9th and catching is Chadwick Trump. Of course, Kyle Bradish is on the mound for the Orioles. 3.49 ERA on the season. He's been phenomenal. He's been exactly what the Orioles are hoping for. He's been their ace. One of, to be honest with you, what could be 3 aces for the Orioles in Kyle Bradish, Trevor Rogers, and Brandon Young. All 3 have just been phenomenal since May. For the home-standing Detroit Tigers, McGonigal, Dingler, Keith, Green, Torkelson, McKinstry, Lee, Outman, Vierling. And again, Keider, Montero is on the mound for Detroit. We'll see what happens tonight. Can the Orioles get the win? Excuse me. They need to find a way to win series. They need to win as many series as they can. And they just, coming out of the break, they won 3 against Houston, and they had every opportunity to win that series against Boston and win that series against Atlanta. And like I said earlier, I'm sorry to beat a dead horse. They just, instead of finding ways to win, found ways to lose. And it's tough. But anyway, good to have everybody here. Thank you all very much. We're already at 12 likes. We got 28 to go to get to our goal. I appreciate it very, very much. If you have friends and they're Orioles fans, I did not sleep well last night. I was up at 3 o'clock in the morning and didn't really go back to sleep. Orioles fans, bring them in. Or baseball fans. O's Braves tonight. O's Braves. Should be an interesting game. Let's do that. I think that should do it right there. Thank you for the likes, everybody. Good to have everybody in. We're going to have a good time tonight. Hopefully the Orioles can, again. I think the key of tonight is Kyle Bradish just continuing to put up zeros. Get ahead in the count. Induce a lot of ground balls. Keep the ball out of the air. This is a bigger ballpark. It's going to be hard to poke one and get it out. But for Bradish, just get ahead. Get them out. And for the Orioles, try to get early leads. And they said it earlier, Detroit is a team that tends to want to get out early. They are a good first-inning team, score a lot of runs early. And for the Orioles, excuse me. Like I said, I've been tired. I did not sleep well last night. Just, try to get out of this first inning quick. Put some pressure on them. We'll see. I mean, his last 3 starts, 7 2/3, 6 2/3, 6 innings, 5 hits, 2 hits, 4 hits, 3 earned runs, 1 earned run, 1 earned run, 1 walk, 5 Ks, 2 walk, 5 Ks, 1 walk, 4 Ks. I couldn't care less if he strikes people out. It's not that big a deal to me if these pitchers strike guys out. If they're pitching well and getting ahead in the count, they're going to be just fine. They're going to get outs. I know in today's game it's all about missing bats and getting strikeouts. I don't tend to agree with that. I think as long as you know how to pitch and you know how to change speeds and locate your fastball, you're going to do just fine, and you're going to induce those outs no matter what. Most of the time in baseball with hitters, most of the time, not all the time, they get the big fly home runs off of mistake pitches. We'll see how tonight goes. Good to have everybody in here again. Thank you all for being here, and hopefully we'll get a nice crowd in. Look at that, 14 likes. Thank you all very much. Whew-wee. So, Dylan Beavers, Pete Alonso, Connor Henderson. Excuse me. Stepping to the plate for the O's in the first inning. Gunner's been such an anomaly this year. It's just a bad year. Just hasn't had the year that I think he's wanted to have. Home runs, he's at what, 17 home runs, 18 home runs. His RBI numbers are okay. His average is 221, which is about 60 points lower than what he hit last year. His OPS is about 100 points lower than he hit last year. He's striking out a ton, and he's gotten into this habit of becoming pull happy. Everything is swinging out of his shoes. And I think that ultimately he needs to learn to just stay back on the ball. If he's got to go the other way with it, go the other way with it. Not everything has to be a home run. I tend to think the same thing about Kobe Mayo. Just take what's given to you. Your home runs will come. He's a powerful enough guy that they will come. Just make contact and put good one on the ball and go with the pitches more often. And I think he'll be just fine. But I think Gunnar Henderson's problem is he just refuses to do that. Everything is pull. And I don't like it. Welcome in, Stanley. Good to have you here. Do I think the Orioles are buyers or sellers? I think this week will decide that. If they have a good week, if they stay within 3 games or better of the last playoff spot, they're going to be buyers. But, again, what do you have to offer? And what do you have that they're going to want that you're willing to trade? So that's how I see it. It's not as easy as, the Orioles are going to make trades. No, it takes 2 to tango. The other team's got to want what you're offering. And then you got to want to be able to give up what they want in return. And that's not easy. I think people think trades are so easy to make. They're not. Neither team wants to lose in the trade. They want to be the winner in the trade. So trades are much harder to do than people know. Because to be honest with you, if the Orioles are going to trade anything, it's going to have to come off the Major League roster. All right, here's Dylan Beavers. Man, they are really playing him the pull. Third baseman is basically playing shortstop. First pitch. Fly ball. Left center field. That ball's hit pretty well. At the track, the center fielder is going to get there. And that's the first out. So Dylan Beavers on one swing is out. Not ideal for a leadoff hitter to swing at the first pitch. See, I don't know, Stanley, it depends on what it is. What are you getting in return for Wei-Hoi, Eloy, and Dwarza? I don't know if that, and that may not even be enough. Here's Pete Alonso. First pitch. Fastball for a strike. 0-1. I just don't know, do teams want that? And is that going to be enough? And what are you landing for him? 0-1 pitch. Here it comes. Inside on a fastball. 1-1. 1-1. One pitch. There's a fly ball down the left field line. That is down. That's going to get down for extra bases. It's up against the wall. That's going to be a 1-out double for Pete Alonso down the left field line. I couldn't pick the ball up. It's so bright there right now. But that's his 21st double of the season for Pete Alonso, and the Orioles got a runner in scoring position just like that. It was a hanging curveball. It just stayed up in the zone, and Pete went and got it and served it down the left field line. So a 1-out double for Pete Alonso. That's going to bring Gunnar to the plate. See what he can do. Hey, Gloria, welcome in. All right, Gunnar's ready. Here's pitch. There's a slider for a strike. 0-1. See, that pitch right there is a very hittable pitch off the plate, and he's not going to swing at those. He's not going to take it the other way. 0-1 pitch. There's a line drive. Base hit into right field. Pete Alonso is going to turn. He's going to hold at third. The ball was hit so hard that he wasn't going to score on that, but that's a base hit for Gunnar. And it technically is a hit with runners in scoring position. So the Orioles were 0 for 10 yesterday. They're 1 for 1 today. So Gunnar turns on the fastball, drives it into right field for a base hit. Pete Alonso's got to hold at third, so the Orioles got first and third, 1 out. They got something cooking, and here's Taylor Ward. What's up, Chris? Welcome in, bud. Yeah, I really need a good win tonight. Fly ball will get the run home. Here's pitch. There's a sinker off the plate and high. Ball 1. 1-0. Taylor Ward's power numbers are down just significant. He left them in L.A. 1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike. 1-1. Taylor Ward had 36 home runs last year. I mean, he's an average 20 to 25 home run guy. He's got 7 with the Orioles. 7. His power numbers have significantly dropped off. He's got a 1-1 count here. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss on a knuckle curve. He was way out in front of that ball. 1-2. And here we go again with the Orioles and these opportunities to get these runs with less than 2 outs. Here's a guy that all he's got to basically do is put the ball in play, and more than likely the Orioles will get a run out of this. 1-2 pitch. High for a ball. 2-2. Adrian Higg, welcome in. Orioles are 4 for 27 with runners in scoring position after the last few games. 2-2 pitch. There's a ground ball. Slowly hit short to 1 for second. Back to first. Is not going to be in time, and that's going to be an RBI for Taylor Ward. And that's exactly what I'm talking about. On a ball like that, just put the ball in play, and more than likely you're going to get a run. And he did. He didn't strike out. He put the ball in play. He beat it out, and that's going to be an RBI for Taylor Ward as he got down the line, and the Orioles take a 1-0 lead. Here's Leo Tavares swinging a miss on a 4-seam fastball, 0-1. As a manager, do you think they stress put TH? I don't know what that is, Adrian. You're going to have to, I'm sorry, you're going to need to kind of say that again. 0-1 pitch. There's a called strike 2 on a 4-seam fastball inside corner. Well, yeah, that's the key, Chris. Yeah, I mean, make them make a play. You know, he hit a slow roller, and they couldn't turn the double play, and the Orioles get a 1-0 lead. 0-2 pitch. There's a fly ball center field. Hit pretty well, but it was hit right at the center fielder. He's got it, and that's the inning. The O's get a run. They're on the board. After a half inning, bottom of the first coming up, O's got a 1-0 lead for Kyle Bradish. I like it. Yeah, Adrian, it's the manager has hitting coaches, okay? That's what the hitting coaches are for. The hitting coaches, it's their job to make these guys understand situational hitting. To make them, make them watch. I mean, I think the thing that makes me really upset is I wonder if these guys are really paying attention to the game when they're not at the plate. So, for instance, a young hitter like a Kobe Mayo, is he watching every single pitch the pitcher is throwing, even though he's not at the plate? Is he seeing the tendencies? Is he seeing the pitches that are being thrown? Is he watching the game and really paying attention? I think that is such an important thing. Situational awareness, understanding the at-bat, understanding the situation and what's needed is so important. And I think a lot of times with the Orioles, that's lost. But yes, as an organization, putting the ball in play has to be stressed. I'm sorry, it does. Strikeouts are not cool. I don't care. Rob Deere used to hit 45 home runs, but he would hit 180 on the season and strike out 250 times. I don't want that guy on my team. I don't. All right, Kyle McGonigal, Dingler, and Keith coming to the plate for the Tigers. Yeah, Chris, I don't know. I think it's analytics talking to these guys. Where they're like, look, he's thrown 4 straight balls. Analytics tell you he's going to throw a fastball to get the next one over. Well, okay, then make him throw it, and then that's fine. All right, here's Bradish. He's ready. First pitch to McGonigal. Here it comes. There's a fastball for a strike. 0-1. 281 hitter on the season, 9 home runs, 35 RBIs. He's got an 805 OPS. 0-1 pitch. There's a swing and a foul back. So quickly 0-2. I think he might have broke his bat. So 5-year, $90 million deal for Kyle Bradish, with a lot of that money backloaded. I think the last year of his contract is $28 million. I think it's like 28, then 24, 17, 15, and 10. So 0-2 pitch. There's a knuckle curve or curveball for a ball, 1-2. I think the Orioles are backloading that contract, so he'll get good money next year in the first year of the contract. But as the years go on, the money just keeps getting higher and higher. 1-2 pitch on the way. Here it comes. There's a fly ball, left field, shallow left field, and that's going to dump in for a base hit in front of Taylor Ward. He could not get there, and it's a base hit for McGonigal down the line. Sony 4K, welcome in. Good to see you. Richard, the legend, welcome in. R. Johns. Please hit that like button as you're coming in. So there's a bloop single. It was up and in on the hands, and he just fisted it into left field for a base hit. What are you going to do? So a leadoff single for Kyle McGonigal. That's going to bring Dingler to the plate. Dylan Dingler. First pitch. There's a curveball for a strike. 0-1. It looked low, but it was called a strike. Dingler on the season. 275, 22 home runs, 68 RBIs. Wow. 874 OPS. Good for him. There comes the 0-1. There's a slider off the plate for a ball. 1-1. Please hit that like button as you're coming in, gang. Would love to see our numbers get to that 40 mark. 1-1 count on Dingler. Here it comes. Here's a slider for a strike. 1-2. I do like that so far. It looks like Bradish has a lot of movement on all of his pitches, and his control looks to be pretty good to start. But it's early. 1-2 pitch. Here it comes. Oh, good take there. That was a curveball, 12-6 curve, and he takes it for a ball, 2-2. He is a good pitcher, Adrian. You know, you just hope that tonight is one of those nights where he's on his game, and you know he stays ahead and keeps the Orioles in the lead. Two pitch on the way. Here it comes. Swing and a miss. Oh, he fouled it off, and he couldn't hold it. He had him. He tipped it, and it was into the glove of Chadwick Trump, and he couldn't hold it. So he's still alive. Should have been an out. So again, it's about execution. Here comes the 2-2 pitch again. Nope. Throw over the first. Those little things can come back to bite you. He drops what would have been a strike 3, and it keeps the at-bat alive for Dingler. Yeah, we'll see if it hurts the Orioles. Good lead at first by McGonigal. Nope, he didn't go. There's the pitch. Swing and a miss. He got him! Strike 3 on Dingler. I wasn't sure if he fouled it off, but he did not foul it off. And that time, Trump was able to hold on to it, and that's 1 down here in the bottom of the first inning. Four-seam fastball up and in, and he was not able to get a piece of it. What do the Orioles do to get better? Just play better baseball. Play more consistent baseball, Adrian. Here's Colt Keith. First pitch to him was a fastball high and outside, ball 1. You just got to play better baseball. You just got to be better at all facets of the game. You know, the pitching has turned its season around. For as bad as they were early, the pitching has been phenomenal. The defense and the offense have to do the same. 1-0 pitch on the way. Here it comes. There's a fly ball, center field. Shallow. That's going to drop in front of Leody Taveras. Runners are going to hold it second, so it's first and second with 1 out here in the bottom of the first for the Detroit Tigers. They are now threatening. And that was a ball up. That was a ball up by Bradish. It was a good pitch, but he kept it up in the zone just a little bit, and Colt Keith was able to serve it in the center field for a base hit. So they got first and second for Riley Green. Green's a .282 hitter on the season. He's got an .833 OPS. So a little bit of trouble to start for Kyle Bradish. First pitch, a curveball off the plate, 1-0. And Detroit is known for scoring a lot of runs early. So, you know, Bradish is in a little bit of a pickle. 15 home runs on the season for Riley Green. Let's see if Bradish can make a pitch here. Really want to keep the ball low in the zone. Try to induce a ground ball somewhere. 1-0 pitch. There's another curveball, but it's off the plate again. Ball 2. So Bradish is in a little bit of trouble here in this first inning. Tigers' offense in the first inning is first in average, first in on-base percentage, second in slugging, OPS, and RBIs. All in the first inning. So they're very good early. 2-0 pitch. There's a fastball or sinker. Outside and low. Ball 3. Oh, my. So, once again, the Orioles get a lead, and they tend to just give it right back. 3-0 pitch. There's a four-seamer for a strike. 3-1. Green was taken all the way there. No need to swing there. 3-1 count here, though. I think he'll be swinging on this one. So, Bradish is going to have to make a pitch. 3-1. Here it comes. Here's a called strike. 3-2 on a sinker. He painted that on the inside corner. That was really nice by Bradish. So he gets the count full. He goes from 3-0 to 3-2. What's he going to throw here? He hasn't been able to get his curveball over. So I don't think he's going to trust in the curveball. I think he's going to go slider. Let's see. Here it is. He did go curveball. Swinging a foul back. He just got a piece of it. Wow, I didn't think he was going to go curveball there. His curveball's, in this at-bat at least, he hasn't been able to get him over the plate. All right, we're going to do it again. 3-2 count. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. He got him on a fastball. Up in the zone. It would have been ball 4, but Riley Green could not lay off of it. It was up here, and he swung at it anyway and was not able to get to it. And that's the second out. And so he helped Bradish on that one. That would have been ball 4. Here comes Spencer Torkelson. Base hit will tie this game up. First pitch, there's a fastball for a strike, 0-1. Torkelson was a first overall pick a few years back. 206 average. Average is terrible. 19 home runs, 50 RBIs. Oh, 1 pitch. Here it comes. There's a ground ball to the third base. Mayo's going to take it, step on the bag, and that's the inning. Woo! Great job by Kyle Bradish to get out of that first inning. No runs, a couple hits. Couple guys left. Top of the second coming up. O's got a 1-0 lead. Yeah, Adrian, these are definitely the types of things that drive you crazy as a fan. I agree 100%. Already 20 likes. Thanks, everybody. And I think if you're an Orioles fan at this point, or an Orioles team, just let's find a way to win innings. Right? Win or tie in an inning. Don't lose in an inning. Start it that simple. Let's not even worry about the game. Let's worry about each inning. Right? They won the first inning. Great. Come back and win the second inning. Win the third inning. Win the fourth inning. Keep winning the innings. Win or tie the innings. If you do that, you can't lose. Excuse me, guys. I am dead tired today. It was a long morning. It's been a long day. Thank you, everybody. We're at 20 likes, so we're halfway to our goal, and we're only through one inning. That's amazing. All right, coming up for the Orioles, it's going to be Jackson Holiday, Kobe Mayo, Jeremiah Jackson. First pitch to Holiday. Here it comes. There's a line drive. Base hit down the third base line. He's going to make the turn. He's going to try and go for a double. Throw to second. He is safe. He is safe. What a slide by Jackson Holiday. It looked like the throw beat him, but the slide was to the side, and he went like this to get in there, and he made it. And that's going to be a leadoff double. And see, that's exactly what I want to see. It was a ball on the outer part of the plate, and he just went with it down the third base line. That was great. All right, man on second. Nobody out. Here's Kobe Mayo's. Knuckle curve is outside and low. Ball one. That's really what I want to see. I just want to see guys go with pitches. The home runs will come. The RBIs will come. Take what's given to you. 1-0 pitch. There's another ball. Slider low. 2-0. What's up, Victor? Welcome in. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. All right, 2-0 pitch. Here it comes. There's a Baltimore chopper down the third base line, but that's going to go foul. So 2-1 to Kobe Mayo. I think that's part of the issue with Kobe Mayo that I see as well is he just tries to swing everything he wants to hit at 500 feet. Two-one pitch. Like that one right there. Swing and a miss on a four-seam fastball. 2-2. He's just swinging. He was late on it. It's a long swing. I mean, if he makes contact with that pitch, he probably hits it a long way. But he can't catch up to it. His swing is so long because he's trying to hit it so far. And that's the issue. Yeah, again, you got to make contact here. Try to get the runner over. 2-2 pitch. Swinging a foul back. See, he's swinging through. Do it again, 2-2. Kobe Mayo's job right here is not to hit a home run. And this is where I think the Orioles have to really do better of coaching these guys. You need a ball to the right side right here. 2-2 pitch. Here it comes. Pop up down the first base side, but that's going to get out of play. Hey, Master of Souls, welcome in. Kobe Mayo's just, even if he gets out, he's got to at least make it a productive out. Let's see if he can do that. Have a good at bat. Let's see. 2-2 pitch. Off the plate. Good take on a sinker. Ball 3. 3-2 to Kobe Mayo. See, that's a good take by him. I like that because he might, earlier in the season, he might swing at that. He's got a full count right here. They're probably going to go slider inside on him. Let's see what happens. Here's the pitch. Here's a ground ball. Past the third baseman into left field. They're going to hold Jackson at third. That's going to be an error on the third baseman. It was hit hard. It took a bad bounce. It went off of him into left field. I don't know if they're going to give Kobe Mayo a hit on that or if they're going to charge the third baseman for an error. That was not an easy play. That was kind of a tough play. It took an in-between hop. He couldn't make the play. I think they'll probably give him an error on that, but we'll see. Yes, they did. They gave an error to the third baseman. But Kobe Mayo's on base, first and third. Here's Jeremiah Jackson. Here's the pitch. Ground ball. Shortstop's got it. The only play is going to be to first base. They're going to tag Jeremiah Jackson. Jackson Holiday is going to score from third, and Kobe Mayo is going to go to second. So 2-0 lead for the Birds. Folks, I've said it 1,000 times. I'm going to say it 1,001. See what happens when you just put the ball in play? Kobe Mayo put the ball in play hard, got an error on the third baseman. Jeremiah Jackson put the ball in play. Yes, he gets thrown out at first, but he gets an RBI, and now Kobe Mayo's at second base. It's just that simple. Strikeouts do nothing for you. Nothing for you. Put the ball in play, anything can happen. And it's already showing right here. Here's Chadwick Trump. First pitch to him is a slider, outside and low, ball one. It's such an important thing, and it's something that I think these players, I don't see how you don't see that. How is that not taught? 1-0 pitch. Here it comes. There's a slider for a strike, or a sinker for a strike. 1-1. It's just so important. When you put a ball in play, it just makes them have to work harder, and it's just that simple. 1 out. Here's the pitch. Swinging a foul. 0-2 or 1-2 on Chadwick Trump. I tell you, you never know how good you have it with your catchers that the Orioles have until you lose both of them. You go from Sam Basayo and Adley Rutschman to Chadwick Trump and Poho Lozo, or whatever his name is. It shows. 1-2 pitch. There's a fly ball. Right field. Shallow. Certainly not going to move the runner up. Kobe Mayo's going to have to hold it second. That's the second out. 2 down. I'm going to go back to the top of the lineup for Dylan Beavers. Orioles got a quick 2-0 lead here. Scoring 1 in the first and now another one here in the second. Couple of doubles. Double in the first inning for Pete Alonso. He scored. Double here for Jackson Holiday in the second. He scored. The Orioles have manufactured both of these runs as well. Let's see if Beavers can get a hit here and get another one home. First pitch. There's a changeup for a strike. That's the first changeup he's thrown. 0-1. Here's the 0-1 pitch. There's a line drive. That's a base hit into right field. That's going to score Kobe Mayo. He's going to round third and score. And that's a 2-out single for Dylan Beavers. And just like that, the Orioles take a 3-0 lead. That was an awesome piece of hitting by Dylan Beavers right there. Got a ball out over the plate. Didn't try to do too much with it. He serves it into right field for a 2-out RBI. And the Orioles take a 3-0 lead. There's a knuckle curve that just stayed up, and he just drove it into right center field. And the Orioles get another run. 3-0 Birds, just like that. Here comes Pete Alonso. He doubled his first time up. I want to see one of these Orioles players have that monster game. First pitch. Outside on a changeup, ball one, 1-0. Just want to see one of the Oriole players have that monster game. 5 for 5, like 8 total bases, 5 RBIs, 2 home run kind of game. Just want to see one of those. 1-0 pitch. There's a fastball for a strike, 1-1. 24 likes already. Thanks, everybody. We're only 16 away already, and it's only the second inning. We don't get a lot of that this year. The Orioles just don't have those really big games offensively. 1-1 pitch outside. Ball 2. 2-1. Well, it's Trump. It's close. 2-1 pitch. Here it comes. There's a fastball. Low. Ball 3. 3-1. So Alonso can kind of gear up here. He's probably looking, he's going to get a pitch to hit. I don't think he wants to walk him. 3-1 pitch. There's a called strike on a slider. 3-2. I like Dylan Beavers. I think Dylan Beavers will be just fine. I think he's going to be a good Major League Baseball player. I don't think he's going to be a superstar. He may not even be a star, but I think he's a viable major leaguer who can play every day. 3-2 pitch. Here it comes. There's a base hit into right field. And Dylan Beavers is going to go all the way to third, and that's going to be another hit for the Orioles with 2 outs by Pete Alonso, who's now 2 for 2. And the Orioles have first and third, 2 outs, and that's going to bring Gunnar to the plate. Here comes the pitching coach for the Detroit Tigers. They're going to have a chat. So a single and a double already. An inside-out swing, too, by Pete Alonso. That was great. He just served it right into right field on an inside-out pitch. That was awesome. And Beavers was running on the pitch and went all the way to third. So it's first and third. The Orioles got a chance here to really put up a crooked number in this second inning and really put some distance between them and Detroit. In this game. Again, Gunnar's 1 for 1. He got the single his first time up. But in these big moments, when you need that big hit, here's a chance here for him to get, an RBI, which he very much needs. First pitch. There's a slider for a strike, 0-1. Victor, I have no idea what you just said there. 0-1 pitch. Here it comes. Swing and a miss on a changeup. Quickly 0-2. Now again, here we are. Gunner's got 2 strikes on him. Shorten your swing. Defensive swing. Keep the at-bat alive. Let's see what he can do. 0-2 pitch. Here it comes. Swing and a foul. Yep, I understand, Victor. Oh, 2 count. Here's the pitch. That's a fastball high. 1-2. Good take by Gunnar right there. That's a good take. One-two pitch on the way. Here it comes. Swinging a foul back. 2-2 or 1-2 again. We're going to do it again. $26 likes, gang. Thank you. We are 14 away from our goal. Appreciate that. 1-2 count on Gunnar Henderson. Montero is at the belt. Here's the pitch. Fly ball. Right field. That's going to be very playable, though. Right fielder's under it. He's got it. That's your inning. But the Orioles get a couple more runs on the board, and we are heading to the bottom of the second inning. The Orioles got a 3-0 lead. McKinstry, Lee, and Outman going to be stepping to the plate for Detroit in the bottom of the second. Again, if you're Kyle Bradish right here, your team staked you with a 3-0 lead just like that. He's got to be loving it. He's got to be loving it. I mean, that's such a great start for the Orioles. get that kind of lead. You already got 3 runs on 5 hits. And, knock on wood, nobody has struck out yet. We're already through the lineup once and a third of the way through it twice. And nobody has struck out yet. That's good. That's what you want to see. Put the ball in play. Anything can happen, and good things usually do. If you put the ball in play. And that's what the Orioles have done. Just one of those years. I mean, you look at the Orioles lineup from 1 to 9. From 1 to 9. The Orioles don't have one player hitting higher than 253. 253 is their highest batting average. What's up, Jason? Welcome in. Excuse me. 253 is the highest batting average on the Orioles team this year. In this lineup, for sure. 253, and that's Pete Alonso. He's got the highest average. Pardon me. I'm going to sneeze like 5 or 6 times in a row. That's just what I do. All right, here's Bradish to McKinstry. First pitch. There's a fly ball. Center field. Pretty shallow. In comes Tavares, and it gets by him. He slides, and it gets by him. That's going to be at least a double. That's going to be a triple. Tavares, for some reason, decides with a 3-0 lead to come in and slide and dive and try and get that ball. And now it's a leadoff triple for McKinstry. That's terrible defense. Here we go again. That's a terrible decision by him. If you can't get it, you got a 3-0 lead, just hold him to a single. Just stop the ball in front of you, let him have a single, and leave it at that. Instead, he slides to try and get it. When he slides, it one-hops and goes by him, and now it's a leadoff triple. That's just bad. That's just terrible baseball. Oh my God, why would you do that? All right, here's Lee. First pitch to him is a ball, 1-0. That's just, the Orioles are going to concede the run here. Everybody's back. There's a curveball for a strike, 1-1. I don't understand that. You have a 3-0 lead. He hits a ball to center field. You're not going to get there. Why slide for it? Just, okay, pull up. It drops in for a base hit. Leave him at first, and you got a chance at a double play. 1-1 pitch, fastball or sinker for a strike, 1-2. The decisions on the defensive side for this team has been horrendous. 29 likes. Thanks, gang. Appreciate you. We're getting there. He's ahead in the count here. 1-2. Let's see what he can do. Here's pitch. Here's a fly ball, center field. Hit really well. At the track is going to be Tavares. He's going to make the catch. And that's going to score the run because McKinstry's going to score from third. 1 out, and the Tigers are on the board, 3-1. I just don't see, and that's an earned run on. That shouldn't be an earned run on Bradish. It is, but it shouldn't be. That's just. See, that's what I'm talking about. That's bad baseball right there. I mean, if he lets that ball fall for a single, the next pitch, this guy gets a fly ball out. You got 1 out and a man on first, and it's still 3-0. Instead, here we are. Curveball to Outman is a swing and a miss, 0-1. This team is so frustrating this year. They find a way to shoot themselves in the foot every single year. Oh, it does say Braves, doesn't it? I'll change that. Sorry. My apologies. Yep, it does. I meant to put Tigers. Sorry about that. Yep, I meant to put Tigers. My apologies. Thank you, Victor. All right, 0-2 count on Outman. Here's the pitch. Well, that's curveball in the dirt. 1-2. I just don't like it. It makes me so mad. It's a gift. Why would you do that? All right, 1-2 pitch. Here it comes. Check swing. He went. They're going to peel down the third. He absolutely went. That's strike 3 to Outman, and that's 2 down. It was a check swing. He tried to check his swing. He wasn't able to do it. They appealed down to third base. Third base umpire said, yep, he went. He absolutely went. It wasn't even close. So 2 down. That's going to bring Matt Vierling to the plate. First pitch to him. Here it comes. Fastball inside and low. Ball 1. 1-0. Bradish's 1-0 pitch. Here it comes. There's a sinker for a strike. 1-1. One pitch on the way. There's a swing and a foul back. 1-2. And the thing about it, the thing that frustrates me so much with Tavares is this isn't a guy that's a young player, or rookie, or anything like that. Tavares has been in the league. And that, again, it's situational baseball. Just understanding the situation in the game and where we are in the game. It's the second inning. It's the first hitter. 1-2 pitch outside and low on a slider. 2-2. You got a 3-0 lead. Don't let a ball get by you that could put a runner in scoring position. I mean, if he drops that in, he's still at first base and there's 2 outs. 2-2 pitch. Oh, fastball just off the plate. They are not going to challenge it. So a 3-2 count on Vierling. If you're Bradish, you don't want to lose him now. No 2-out walks. Kind of got to give in here and let him swing away. 3-2 pitch. There's a ground ball to the third baseman. Kobe Mayo charges. Throw to first in time, and that's the inning. But the Tigers are on the board. They get a run because of a gift by Leody Tavares. We're heading to the top of the third. 3-1 Birds. Anyway, that's just me being overly dramatic, I guess. 29 likes, gang. Hit that like button as you're coming in. Woo! Taylor Ward, Tavares, Jackson Holiday stepping to the plate for the Orioles. 4, 5, 6 hitters tonight. Yeah, we'll be live tomorrow night from Disney, from Disney's Hollywood Studios for a live stream. We're going to do a live stream on both our YouTube channel and our TikTok channel tomorrow night. So we'll do about an hour, hour and a half on YouTube, and then we'll run for about an hour on TikTok as well. Trying to build our TikTok community a little bit. Got a pretty large audience over there on our YouTube channel for Disney. We got almost 30,000 subscribers, but we're trying to grow our TikTok as well. All right, here we go. Orioles, Taylor Ward, Leody Tavares, Jackson Holiday stepping to the plate. Of course, this coming Saturday is the Orioles Hall of Fame induction. Storm Davis, Chris Davis, and Jim Russo are going in. The late Jim Russo. That should be a fun time for anybody going. All right, Taylor Ward's in the box. Here comes the first pitch to him. There's a sinker for us. Ball. High and inside. Ball 1. 1-0. Ward, Tavares, Jackson Holiday. 4, 5, 6 hitters. 1-0 pitch. High again. Ball 2. 2-0. That was a fastball, but it was up. So 2 quick balls on Taylor Ward. And he's behind in the count is Montero. 2-0. 2-0 pitch. High and inside. Ball 3. 3-0. Now, I'll bet $1,000 right now that Taylor Ward is not swinging at this next pitch. I can promise you he is not swinging, folks. Here it is. Called strike. 3-1. You knew he wasn't swinging. Heck, he might not even swing at this one. All right, 3-1 pitch. Here it comes. Here's a called strike. 3-2. So from 3-0 to 3-2, I almost feel like Taylor Ward doesn't want to swing anymore in baseball. 3-2 pitch. Ball 4. He walked him. He saw 7 pitches. He saw 6 pitches. He didn't swing at any of them. He saw 6 pitches. He didn't swing at any of those pitches. All right, leadoff walk for the Orioles. Taylor Ward's on. That's going to bring Leody Taveras to the plate. All right, Taveras gave up a run. He's got to get one back now. Let's see what he can do. First pitch. There's a ground ball. First baseman's got to go to second for one. Back to first is not going to be in time to get Taveras. It was a slow developing play. It was just like a dribbler up the first base line. So it's going to wipe out Taylor Ward at second as the force. But now you got Taveras up at first. All right, here's Jackson. First pitch, inside and low, ball 1. Love to see a big game out of Jackson Holiday, too. Really need a big game out of him. Like to see a 4 for 5, 4 for 4 kind of day. 1-0 pitch. Here it comes. Nope. Throw over to first. One 0 pitch. Oh, he squares the bunt and he fouls it off. Jackson was bunting for a base hit there. He tried to lay it down the third base line and he just popped it up and out of play. But that came out of nowhere. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. There's a ground ball. Base hit into center field. Taveras is going to make the turn. He's going to go to third. And Jackson Holiday's got his second hit. He's 2 for 2 in the game. The Orioles are in business again. First and third, only one out here in the top of the third inning. And now Jackson Holiday is 2 for 2 in the game. And another great piece of hitting. He didn't try to do too much. He went right up the middle with it. Great approach. Eleven likes to go, gang. All right, here comes Kobe Mayo. Let's see what he can do this time. Same situation as last time. First pitch. There's a fastball off the plate for a ball, 1-0. Same as last time. He had first and third last time. He hit a dribbler to get an RBI. No, I'm sorry. He scored a run. My apologies. He reached on the air. That's what it was. Right, he reached on the air, but he hit it hard. 1-0 pitch. There's a line drive base hit into left field for Kobe Mayo. And that's going to be Jackson Holiday went all the way to third on that ball. First to third for Holiday on the ball hit the left field. Wow, how about that? He read that off the bat really well. And he went first to third on a ball hit to left field. And the Orioles are in business. Base hit for Kobe Mayo. 4-1 Birds. Still first and third and only still one out. I really like the approach of this team so far in this game tonight. Offensively. Jeremiah Jackson's going to step to the plate. First pitch to him. Here it comes. He squares the bunt, but he pulls it back, and that's a ball. 1-0. Looked like you were trying to lay down a safety squeeze there. Holly's got decent speed at third. A 1-0 pitch. Here it comes. Swinging a foul right at the plate. 1-1. Still only 1 out for the Orioles. On 1 pitch. Oh, inside. Almost hit him. That's a ball. Ball 2. 2-1. Oh, it did hit him. It hit his hand. I didn't think it hit his hand, but the umpire's saying it did hit him. So it looks like Jeremiah Jackson's got a hit by pitch on his hand. It was up and in, but I thought he got it. I didn't think it got him. I don't think it got him. Are they going to challenge it? Oh, no, I guess not. They're saying it got him right here on the backhand. So he's hitting like this. They're saying it hit him on the backhand right here. All right, here comes the pitching coach again for Detroit. They're going to talk to Montero. Orioles now got bases loaded, nobody out. Unfortunately, it's Chadwick Trump that's coming to the plate. This is where you really miss Adley Rutschman and Sam Basayo. And just like that, Detroit's got somebody warming in the bullpen, Anderson. Guys, we're still at 29 likes. 11 likes from our goal. Please hit that like button. Orioles got a chance to really got a chance here to open this game up. They've had 8 opportunities already with runners in scoring position. They're 3 for 8, which is good. First pitch to Trump. There's a called strike on a sinker, 0-1. Now, if you're Chadwick Trump right here, your job is to just get the ball to the outfield. No ground balls, because he can't run. If he hits a ground ball, it's going to be a double play. He's got to get the ball to the outfield. That's the most important thing right here. 0-1 pitch. At the slider off the plate and low. Ball 1. 1-1. And they're going to keep it there. If you're Montero, you're going to try to keep the ball low in the zone. You're going to try to induce that ground ball. If you're Trump, you want something to elevate. 1-1 pitch. Here it comes. Ground ball to third baseman. Told you. Went home for 1. Back to first. In time. Double play. Just like that. Terrible. Absolutely horrible by Chadwick Trump. Exactly what I said not to do, he did. Don't hit a ground ball. What's he do? He hits a ground ball. Double play. Inning over. Orioles get a run back. We're heading to the bottom of the third inning. 4-1 Birds. It's bad. Just horrible. Exactly what we said don't do, he did. But, what are you going to do if you're the Orioles? Adley Rutschman and Sam Basayo, your 2 best catchers, are both on the injured list. What are you going to do? The guy's got to hit. Trump or Sam Huff or whoever it's going to be. They got to come up at some point and hit. But, they just got to come through. And they're not coming through. That's a bummer. Orioles really could have. They could have put up a crooked number right there. That's too bad. 4-1 should be like 6-1 right now. But it is what it is. Now it's up to Bradish to come out and give us a shutdown inning. After the 5th inning, guys, we'll go ahead and do a out-of-town scoreboard. Check out the scores around Major League Baseball. We'll do that at the end of the 5th and at the end of the 7th. Thank you all for being here. Thank you all for the likes. It's been real nice. We have 32 likes. That's awesome. We will take the likes every day of the week. That's pretty awesome for sure. Got a chance of hitting our goal. Last couple streams we've been beating our goal, so that's been nice. So Kyle Bradish, you got a nice 4-1 lead. See if you can come out here and give us a quick inning. It's back to the top of the lineup for Detroit. McGonigal, Dylan Dingler, and Colt Keith coming to the plate. 1, 2, 3 hitters. All right, Bradish just set. First pitch to McGonigal. Here it comes. There's a curveball just high. Ball 1. 1-0. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. There's a fastball high or sinker high. Ball 2. 2-0. Bradish looks frustrated, but he's got to be frustrated at himself because both of those pitches are balls. They weren't strikes. 2-0 pitch. Nope. Slider off the plate. Ball 3. 3-0. And this is where, if you're Kyle Bradish, you got to really bear down here and concentrate. Don't walk this guy. 3-0 pitch on the way. There's a strike. 3-1. You knew he wasn't swinging. They're down 4-1 in the third inning. They need base runners. He may not swing at this pitch. But if I'm the Orioles right here, I'm making him swing. Throw a strike. No free passes. Here's a 3-1. There's a swing and a miss. Or a swing and a foul back. 3-2. So Bradish has gotten back in the count here. He went from 3-0 to 3-2. I still think you give in here. If I'm Bradish, I'm throwing a fastball and saying, here, hit it. If you're going to get on, you're going to get on by earning it. I'm not walking you. Let's see what he does. Here it comes. Yep, fastball. And it's a base hit into left field. That's fine. So a leadoff single for McGonigal again. He's now 2 for 2. But that's okay. I'd rather him earn his way on than to give up the walk. So a leadoff single for McGonigal. That's going to bring Dylan Dingler to the plate. It was a fastball down in the zone. McGonigal just went down and got it. It was a good piece of hitting. Now, Dingler struck out his first time up. Bradish is ready. Here's the pitch. Here's a sinker for a strike, 0-1. Like a ground ball at somebody right now. That would be perfect. Oh, 1. Here it comes. There's a line drive. Caught by the second baseman, Jeremiah Jackson. And that's 1 down. McGonigal was able to get back. More like a blooper than a line drive. I like to say line drive a lot, but more like a blooper. But right to the second baseman for the first out. 1 down. All right, here comes Colt Keith. He singled his first time up. Lefty on righty. Bradish's first pitch. Here's a called strike on a sinker, 0-1. Oh, 1 pitch. Here it comes. Gonna look curveball here. Nope. There's a ground ball to second baseman. Throw to second for 1. Back to first. In time for the double play. 4-6-3 double play. Jeremiah Jackson to Jackson Holiday. Back to Pete Alonso. And that's the inning, guys. No runs, 1 hit, nobody left. We're heading to the top of the 4th inning. 4-1 Birds. Nice velocity by Jackson Holiday, too. He had to hurry on that. $33 likes. Woohoo! We got 7 to go. I'm going to go use the restroom real fast. I'll be back. All right, we're back. Looks like they're back too. Coming up for the Birds, top of the lineup: Dylan Beavers, Pete Alonso, Gunnar Henderson. Here we go. First pitch to Dylan. Here's pitch. Curveball for a strike. 0-1. Montero's back out there. So they are not pinch hitting for him or they did not bring in a relief pitcher yet. He's still out there. 0-1 pitch. Here's a sinker for a strike. 0-2. That ball was on the inside part of the plate and just ran back over just enough to catch the inside corner for a strike. 0-2 on Dylan Beavers. Beavers is 1 for 2. He's got an RBI and a single. Let's see if he can do something else here. Here's the pitch. Fly ball, center field. Fairly deep, but playable. Center fielder's got it. That's 1 down. Dylan Beavers has had 3 good at-bats. He's hitting the ball hard. He's just not, he's hitting it right at people. All right, Pete Alonso's 2 for 2. He's got a single and a double in the game. Halfway to the cycle. Triple is always the hardest one to get. First pitch. Here's a sinker for a strike. 0-1. So hard to hit for the cycle. 0-1 pitch. That's a sinker off the plate. Ball 1. 1-1. One pitch. There's a ground ball to the third baseman. That's going to be an easy play. Throw over by the third baseman to the first baseman, and that is the second out of the inning. So 2 down. That's going to bring Gunnar to the plate for the Orioles. Gunnar Henderson stepping up. Excuse me. Gunner's 1 for 2. Here's a pitch. Fastball right down the middle. Strike. 0-1. That was like center cut right down the middle, right down Broadway, and he takes it for a strike. 0-1 pitch. I feel like I'm going to sneeze again. 0-1 pitch on the way. Swinging a foul back. Quickly 0-2. Gunnar was not able to catch up to that 94-mile-an-hour fastball. And he is quickly down in the count. 0-2. 0-2 pitch. There's a curveball for a ball. 1-2. Good take. Good take right there by Gunnar Henderson. One-two pitch. Here it comes. Swing and a miss. He got him on a changeup. Strike 3. That's your inning. No runs, no hits, no errors for the Orioles in the 4th. Bottom of the 4th coming up. 4-1 Birds. That's the first strikeout of the night, too. Orioles had no strikeouts up to that point. First K on the evening for him. Welcome in, everybody. 20 of you in here. Please hit that like button as you're coming in. We are 7 away from our goal. Glad to have everybody in here. Anybody in here for the first time? Let me know in the chat. Appreciate all of you coming in and being part of the program tonight. I kind of did this last minute. I wasn't sure if I was going to call the game, but I wanted to call. I wasn't going to call the Wednesday game because that's an afternoon game, so I couldn't call that one, and I couldn't call tomorrow night because I'm going to be at Hollywood Studios for our Disney Channel. And for a live stream at Hollywood Studios tomorrow night. So I couldn't do it tomorrow night. So I'm like, I have to do it tonight. So we're doing tonight's game. And I'm glad to be here. Dustin, welcome in. Good to have you here for the first time. I hope you subscribe. Come back for more. We're small. We're a very small channel. 1,377 subscribers, something like that. We're a very small channel. But you know what? We have fun here. You're always welcome here. It's very family friendly. It's very cordial, very nice, very respectable. You're always welcome here. As long as you're nice back, you can come in here and talk baseball all you want. No matter who your team is. That's how we do it. All right, Kyle Bradish is back out on the mound, bottom of the fourth inning. Let's see what he can do. Riley Green is at the plate. First pitch. Curveball off the plate. Ball 1-0. His curveball to lefties has been off the plate tonight. He hasn't been able to really command it against lefties. 1-0 pitch. There's a call. Oh! He called it a ball, but looks like Chadwin Trump is going to challenge it. Let's see if he wins the challenge. He does win the challenge. It was called a ball. Catcher for the Orioles challenged it, and he won. It was a strike, so it's an overturn. And instead of 2-0, it's 1-1. Good challenge right there by Chadwick Trump. 1-1 pitch. Here it comes. Oh, curveball. Check swing. Did he go? Nope, he did not. Ball 2. 2-1. Two-one pitch. Inside. Almost hit him on a fastball. 3-1. So far, Bradish has been good. He doesn't have any walks to date. You really don't want to walk this guy. No leadoff walks. You got a 4-1 lead. Make these guys earn the way on. 3-1 pitch on the way. Here it comes. Here's a called strike on a sinker inside part of the plate. 3-2. Six likes from our goal, gang. Please hit that like button as you're coming in. Oh. So here comes the catcher. He's gonna have a talk with Bradish. That was a quick talk too. Wow. Came out there, said something real fast, like he was out there maybe a second. Full count on Riley Green. 3-2 pitch on the way. Fly ball, right field. That's hit really well. That's going to one hop off the wall. Dylan Beaver's going to make the turn. They're going to go to second. Are they going to get him? No! Just made it in time. That's a leadoff double. Good throw by Beavers. He almost got it there, but he wasn't able to get him. And it's a leadoff double for Riley Green. John Messina, welcome in. Good to see you. It was just a curveball that stayed up just enough for Riley Green to turn on it. That's going to bring Torkelson to the plate. First pitch to him. Here it comes. There's a swing and a foul. 0-1. So a leadoff double for Riley Green. Spencer Torkelson is at the plate. The Orioles here, you just want to get it. You just want to get an out. If you can get an out without moving that runner up, you'd be happy. Oh, 1 pitch. There's a swing and a foul off to the third base side. So quickly, 0-2 on Spencer Torkelson. Does Bradish have a pitch in him to get him out right here? 35 likes. 5 to go, gang. 5 to go. Bradish is ready. 0-2 pitch. Here it comes. Nope. Fly ball. Right field. That's going to get down. They're going to hold Riley Green at third base. He had to hold up. The ball stayed up just enough that it looked like at first Dylan Beavers was going to have a play on it, but it fell in front of him. So Riley Green holds it third, and it's now first and third, nobody out. He had to wait because at first it looked like Dylan Beavers was going to get there. So it was a good deke by Beavers. But Detroit's got first and third, nobody out for Zach McKinstry, who singled his last time up. I'm sorry, he got the triple last time up. My apologies. So if you can get a double play, you're willing to give up a run if you can get a double play. Let's see what Bradish does. First pitch. Curveball in the dirt. Ball 1-0. So 1-0 count. Bradish has gotten himself in some trouble this inning. He's keeping the ball up. 1-0 pitch. It's a curveball low. Ball 2. So Bradish is struggling here in the fourth. He's kept a couple pitches up. The pitch to Torkelson was definitely up. The pitch to Riley Green was up enough that he was able to turn on it. So, that's where we are. First and third, nobody out. And it's 2-0 count on McKinstry. Got to come up with a pitch here. Here it is. Swinging a foul off to the right. 2-1. His fastball is up just a little too much. It gives these Detroit hitters the opportunity here to elevate something. He really wants to keep the ball on the ground right here. So he needs a ball low. Try to induce a double play here. You're willing to give up the run if you can get a double play. 2-1 pitch. Check swing. Foul. Going to do it again. 2-2. I don't know if Bradish has it in him tonight. His stuff isn't overpowering tonight where I can think he's got the opportunity to blow one by McKinstry right here. I don't know that he's at that point tonight. 2-2 pitch. Here it comes. Curveball in the dirt. Great save. Trump. Oh, the runner goes to second. He did move up. He did move up. Wow. How about that? So Torkelson was able to take second. So that now takes away the double play. It was a curveball in the dirt. Trump made a great play to stop it, but he wasn't able to throw to second to get the out. So it's second and third and a full count on McKinstry. Here's the pitch. Here's a ground ball. Foul down the first base side. Just foul. Second and third. Nobody out for Detroit. Bradish is definitely in a little bit of a pickle right here. You can get a pop-up or a strikeout right here. You'd be really happy with that. 3-2 pitch on the way. Swinging a foul again. He's throwing 95. He's not upper 90s, but he's still got some good velocity. He's just not able to put him away. Orioles fan 72, welcome in. Orioles clinging to a 4-1 lead, but Detroit is threatening here in the bottom of the fourth. 3-2 pitch is a curveball in the dirt, and he walks him. So Bradish has gotten himself in a major pickle. Bases loaded. Nobody out here in the bottom of the fourth. With Hao-Yu Lee stepping to the plate. Thanks, everybody. 37 likes. We are getting there. Orioles pitching coach is out. They're going to have a meeting of the minds. The Orioles are still willing. Right now, the Orioles, bases loaded, nobody out for Detroit in a 4-1 game. You want a double play here. You're willing to give up a run if you can get 2 outs for the 1 run. Obviously, a strikeout or a pop-up or a short, shallow fly ball, something very shallow would be great as well. But if you can get if you get a double play here and it concedes a run, you're okay with that. But Bradish is he's in a bind. He's got to really bear down. Let's see what he can do. Lee is ready. Here's the first pitch. There's a fastball, just slow. Ball 1-0. 95 miles an hour. Bradish is struggling now. He's just got to keep battling. That's what he's got to, just got to keep battling. 1-0 pitch. There's a ground ball. It's shortstop. Jackson's going to bobble it. It was a ball in the hole. He had to backhand it. He bobbles it. He has no play. That's going to score a run. It's going to be a base hit. It's not going to be an error on Jackson Holiday. It was a tough play. He wasn't going to be able to do anything with it. It's going to be 4-2, and it's going to be a base hit. So Lee hits one in the hole. Jackson Holiday backhands it, and it was off his glove. It wouldn't have mattered anyway. He wasn't going to get anybody. And it's now 4-2. Still nobody out. And Detroit is right back in this game. Here's Outman. First pitch. Check swing. Did he go on a curveball? No, he did not. Ball 1. Four to 2 birds, but Detroit is threatening here in the bottom of the fourth to tie this up. 1-0 pitch, swing and a miss, strike, 1-1. Yeah, Victor, he got to the ball. If the ball gets by him and goes in the left field, you're right, it's 2 runs. If nothing else, he stops that run from scoring, at least for the time being. One pitch. Check swing right at the plate. Strike 2. 1-2. Bradish is really struggling in this 4th inning. He is battling. Everything is up. One-two pitch. Check swing. Did he go? No, he did not. It's 2-2. Good stop by Trump, too. That ball was in the dirt. Welcome in, everybody. 22 in here. We got 37 likes. We're 3 away from getting it. Let's see if we can get those 3 likes before the Orioles get 3 outs. Bradish steps off. Two pitch on the way. Here it comes. Called strike 3 on the inside part of the plate. A sinker on the inside. He froze him, and he is out. 1 down here in the bottom of the 4th inning. That was a great pitch by Kyle Bradish. Totally fooled him, and it was definitely a strike. One down. That's going to bring Veerling, the number 9 hitter, to the plate. This is a really good chance right here for the Orioles to get out of this with just the 1 run. Again, if they can get Bradish to induce a ground ball at somebody, they got a chance to get out of this. Bradish is at the belt. Here's the first pitch. Fly ball. Center field hit pretty well. It's going to be caught by the center fielder, Tavares. The runner at third is going to tag. He's going to score. And that's going to make it 4-3. But it is the 2nd out. But Veerling, that's a good piece of hitting by him. Oh, what happened there? That was a good piece of hitting by Matt Veerling because ultimately he got the run home with the fly ball, and it's now 4-3. But 2 outs in the inning. Let's see if Bradish can get out of this right here and leave it at 4-3. Excuse me. Back to the top of the lineup for McGonigal, and McGonigal's 2 for 2 in this game. First pitch. Swinging a ground ball right to the first baseman. Alonso's got it. He steps on the bag, and that's the inning. But a couple runs in for Detroit. They make this a game. We're heading to the top of the fifth. 4-3 Birds. Just wasn't his inning. He got the 3 outs before we got the 3 likes. That's okay. If you're the Orioles offense, you really would like to see a response right here. Maybe get a run back or 2. Put this lead back at 2 or 3 runs if you can do it. Really would like to continue the offensive, results they've seen so far. They've scored in 3 of the first 4 innings. And just want to continue to put pressure on Detroit. Keep scoring the runs. Taylor Ward, Leody Taveras, Jackson Holiday stepping to the plate for the Birds. 4, 5, and 6 hitters again. Such an important game for the Orioles the rest of the way. This week is going to be such a telling week for the Birds. Alberto Casameyer, welcome in. I hate Holiday's face after every error or mistake he makes. Show some character or some humble come on. What kind of face is he making? I don't really think that was even an error. That was a ball in the hole. If he doesn't get to that ball, would have scored 2 runs anyway. I mean, I don't know what kind of face he made. I didn't really see a face. I am, Victor, but again, the entire American League is down this year. All right, here's Taylor Ward. First pitch. There's a curveball off the plate, ball 1, 1-0. Montero's still out there for Detroit. He's kept them in the game. A 1-0 pitch. There's a called strike, 2-0. So, Taylor Ward has seen 8 pitches in his last 2 at-bats, and he has not swung the bat in his last 8 pitches. 1-1 pitch. Here it comes. Pop-up. Now I see why he doesn't swing. First baseman's calling for it. He's under it. He's got it. 1 down. Hey, we hit the likes. Thank you, everybody. Look at that. I can take that off of there. We hit the like goal. Thank you all very much. You know what, Victor? Yeah, again, with the White Sox, the way the American League is right now, it good for them. They're playing good baseball. Here's Taveras. Fastball is high. Ball 1. 1-0. But yeah, I am surprised. I didn't think they were going to be a 500 team. I thought they were going to be, I thought they were going to be a bad team again. Orioles have the second worst record in 1-run games. 9 wins, 17 losses in 1-run games this year. Terrible. Ball 2 to Taveras. 2-0. 2-0 pitch. That's a ball. Ball 3 on a slider. 3-0. Taveras lined out and was reached on a fielder's choice. He's probably going to take a pitch here. 3-0 pitch. There's a called strike. 3-1 on a fastball. All right, 3-1 pitch on the way to Leody Taveras. Here it is. There's a fly ball! Right field! That ball is hit on time and it's gone! Leody Taveras turns on one and he gets a run back and the Orioles are up 5-3. Wow, he turned on that slider and he hits it a ton and the Orioles get one back. 416 feet, 112 off the bat for Leody Taveras. 5-3 Birds. Here's Jackson Holiday. 2 for 2 in the game so far. Here's pitch. Here's a slider for a strike. 0-1. Wow, it was a four-seam fastball. Just stayed up, and he just got all of it. Oh, 1 pitch. There's a line drive. Base hit into left field. Past the dive of the third baseman, and that's into left field for Jackson Holiday, and he's 3 for 3. Again, he went the other way. He took the pitch that was given to him. Love his approach tonight. That's going to do it for Montero. Here comes the manager. He's calling for the sub, for the relief pitcher. Jackson Holiday, 3 for 3 in the game. 2 balls to the opposite field, 1 ball up the middle. He's 3 for 3. He's raised his batting average to 240, and his OPS is up to 742. Good for Holiday. The Orioles get one of those runs back. That's exactly what you want to see out of your offense. Holiday, 3 for 3 so far in the game with a run scored. Love seeing it. He's got his batting average up to 240 now. 742 OPS. Really want to see him. I just think, he was put behind the 8 ball in the beginning of the season. He had the hamate bone injury where he broke his hamate. He didn't get a spring training. He didn't get any spring training, really. And, he once he came back, he had to start in the minor leagues, and then he kind of re-aggravated the injury, he had to take some time off again, and then he played a few games, and then they called him up. He really didn't get a chance to get going. But the Orioles run Montero out of the game. Looks like Brennan Hanafy is coming in. Brennan Hanafy will be coming into the game. He is a righty. He's got a 3.72 ERA in 19 and the third innings. Got a 134 whip. Opponents are hitting 270 against him. Doesn't really strike guys out. 3.7 Ks per 9 innings. 2.8 walks. So not great numbers. Let's see what happens. Here's Kobe Mayo. First pitch. Inside on a sinker. Ball 1. Way inside. 1-0. Mayo reached on an error and has a single. He's 1 for 2. Thank you, Sony. 1-0 pitch. Here it comes. Inside on the sinker again. Ball 2. 2-0. Two-0 count. Here comes the 2-0 pitch. Swinging a foul. 2-1. Thank you, Sony. Appreciate you sharing this out. Yes, TikTok as well, please. I think we just went over 300 subscribers over there. Two-one pitch. Here it comes. There's a fly ball. Left field. At the track. At the wall. It's gone! 2-run home run for Kobe Mayo. He gets the ball up in the zone, and he's able to muscle it out. It's a 2-run shot, 7-3 Birds. How about that? 14th home run on the season, 390 feet, 94 off the bat. And Kobe Mayo, and the Orioles get all those runs back and then some. 7-3 Birds. Here comes Jeremiah Jackson. First pitch to him is a slider outside and low. Ball 1. Still only 1 out. The thing about Kobe Mayo, when he gets one, he gets it. There's a ground ball. Baltimore chop. Third baseman's got a charge. Throw to first in time to get Jeremiah Jackson for the second out. 2 down. I mean, Kobe Mayo's raw power is like, it's just immense. When he gets there, you know, very few of his home runs are did they make it? You know, are ones there. Most of them are no doubters. He's a big dude. Such power. When he gets it, he gets it. He needs a haircut, though. Chadwick Trump stepping to the plate, swinging a foul, 0-1. So the Orioles get those runs back and then some for Kyle Bradish. So Bradish has been given 7 runs on 10 hits in just 5 innings. Really want to see him come out and put up a goose egg in this bottom of the 5th inning. All right, Chadwick Trump's got an 0-1 count. Let's see if he can actually get a hit. There's a pitch. Ground ball is shortstop. Nope. He's going to throw to first in time, and that's the inning. But the O's get the runs back and then some. We're going to head to the bottom of the 5th inning. 7-3 Birds. We'll take it. Thank you, everybody, for being here. We hit our goal for our likes already. I think that's amazing. You guys have been awesome with that tonight. We've already, I mean, we're only in the, you know, we're only in the bottom of the 5th inning. We've already made our goal of 40 likes. That's awesome. Thank you, Sony. Yeah, check us out. We got videos out there. We got shorts. I just posted my greatest number 7 players of all time in Major League Baseball. I'm sure everybody knows who's number 1, but you never know. Brian Hines, welcome in. Did they pull Bradish or will still be playing? I think he's still going to come out. He's going to come out for the 5th inning. They want to get him through at least 5. Unless he has another bad inning. If he has another inning like he had last inning, then they'll probably pull him. But yes, Bradish will be out for the 5th inning. I'm sure of it. I'm absolutely sure of it. Yeah, I knew who you meant, Brian. Welcome in, Bradish. Yep, I got you. Yeah, I'm sure he'll be out. Absolutely. Visit Sarasota. Yep, I have visited Sarasota. I don't live that far from Sarasota. About an hour and a half from Sarasota. All right, Dingler, Colt Keith, Riley Green. And Bradish is back out there. Here he is. First pitch. Up high, ball 1, 1-0. Here from Puerto Rico. Well, Brian, welcome in. I hope you give us a like, and I hope you subscribe. Come back for more baseball. Bradish everything's up right now with Bradish. 1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss on a curveball. 1-1. I guess they called that a slider. Man, it sure moved like a curveball, but I guess it was a slider. So a 1-1 count on Dylan Dingler. He's 0 for 2. He's got some pop. 22 home runs on the season. 1-1 pitch. There's a curveball high, or again, slider. They're calling it a slider. 2-1. Bradish is at 75 pitches. He threw 26 pitches last inning. And that really hurt him. Here's the 2-1 pitch. There's a foul right at the plate off the shin of Dingler. That'll make it 2-2. So 2-2 count. Here comes the pitch. There's a fly ball center field. That's going to get down. Yes! Just out of the reach of the second baseman, Jeremiah Jackson. Good try by Jackson, but that's a leadoff single for Dylan Dingler. He hit a blooper right over the glove of Jeremiah Jackson. He almost got to it. So a leadoff single. Yeah, he just missed it too. 8 hits now for Detroit. Colt Keith at the plate, first pitch. Swinging a foul back on a 93-mile-an-hour fastball, 0-1. Yeah, Bradish doesn't have his best stuff tonight. He is definitely struggling. A lot of balls right out over the plate. His velocity isn't there. He's definitely laboring today. He's at 78 pitches. 0-1 pitch. Here's a called strike on a sinker, 0-2. He needs to throw more pitches like that. That sinker was down and away, just on the bottom half of the zone. Not much Keith can do with that. If he can throw another pitch there, he could easily get a double play or a strikeout right here. 0-2 pitch. Here it comes. Pop up down the third base side. Mayo's going to give it a look, but it's going to get out of play. I just think that when he's up in the count 0-2, 1-2, too many balls out over the plate. We've talked about this in other games. And when you're up in the count like this, there's absolutely no reason for you to throw a strike. Get ahead with strikes, get him out with balls. You know, you should really be nowhere near the plate. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. That's a good curveball. It's taken for a ball. It's 1-2. But that's a good pitch right there by Bradish. See if you can get him to chase. It's a pitch that it's got the plate. It's just low. It's a good take by Colt Keith. 1-2. Here it comes. There's fly ball, center field. That ball's hit really, really well. Tavares, he's not going to get there. It's down. It's off his glove. And that's going to be second and third. That's another bad play. Tavares should have had that ball. Oh, my God. Tavares had plenty of time. He was right there. He put his glove out to catch it, and he didn't catch it. That's got to be an error. I'm sorry. That's the second blunder by Leody Tavares. I don't care if he has hit a home run. He should have caught that ball. Well, I don't know. It's hard to say. That ball, I don't know. That might have been out of the outstretched hand. That was really close. But here we go again. Bradish is in trouble again. Second and third. Nobody out. Here's Riley Green. He's going to give it right back. Fastball outside. Ball 1. So Bradish is just not one. This is just not his game tonight. He just doesn't have it tonight. At first, I thought that maybe Tavares should have had that ball, but that's a tough one. I'd have to look at the angle again. 1-0 pitch. Here it comes. There's ball 2, 2-0. Yeah, Bradish he doesn't have it tonight. He's at 84 pitches, and he doesn't even have an out here in the 5th inning. Orioles gave him a 7-3 lead, and he can't hold it tonight. 2-0 pitch. Outside again, ball 3. He's about to load the bases with nobody out. It's so frustrating. This is the thing with the Orioles that has been such the inconsistency of this team is on the nights you get the hitting, you can't pitch. Here's a called strike, 3-1. I mean, Bradish is your ace. He's your best pitcher. He comes in here. The Orioles give him 7 runs on 10 hits in 5 innings. And he's in jeopardy of blowing that lead. 3-1 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 2 on what would have been ball 4 by Riley Green. Wow, he gave him one there. That would have been ball 4. So full count. Here it comes. Here's a ground ball. Right back to the catcher. Throw to first. In time, Riley Green is out. It was a dribbler right out in front of the plate. Chadwick Trump gets it. Basically stares the runners back. Holds the runners. Throws to first. And that's one down. So that's a big break for the Orioles right there. One down here in the bottom of the 5th. Here's Torkelson. He's 1 for 2. Kyle Bradish needs another big out right here. Here's pitch. Outside. Wow. Slider outside. Nice stop by Chadwick Trump. If that ball gets by him, it's a run. He made a great stop to keep it from going to the backstop. 1 ball, no strikes. Mm. 1-0 pitch. Here it comes. Swinging a foul straight back on the slider. 1-1. Oof. Man. Love to get a pop-up or something right here. He doesn't have it tonight. He's not, I don't see him overpowering people and getting strikeouts. 1-1 pitch. Off the plate on a slider, ball 2. Good take by Torkelson. 2-1. Bradish is at 91 pitches. This will be his last inning. Might be his last hitter. 2-1 pitch. There's a fly ball. Deep. It's going to be just short of the warning track. Taylor Ward's got it. That's going to score the runner from third. He's going to go to third. He's going to go home and score. The runner at second is going to tag up and go to third. And it's now 7-4. But the Orioles do get an out. And there are 2 outs now here. Hey, what's up, Adrian? Welcome in. The runner at second tagged and went to third. It was close, but he was called safe. I don't think he's out. Nah, he's safe. Oh, did he come off the bag? All right, so Bradish needs a big out right here. If he can get this out right here on McKinstry, he'll be in good shape. First pitch, here it comes. Nope, he didn't. Line drive, base hit into right field. That's going to score the runner from third. It's now 7-5. First pitch. And again, he laid a fastball, middle of the plate, up, and McKinstry just raked it into right field for a base hit. And that's it. Alvarez is going to come get him. He's not even going to get through 5 innings. I don't agree with this. I don't like that. I think Alvarez should have let him finish the inning. Try to get the win. Give him something. Give him incentive here. All right, so they're going to go to the bullpen. Bad night for Kyle Bradish. 5 runs on 10 hits through 4 2/3. Orioles clinging to a 7-5 lead. They'll be right back. Yeah, I'm back. I had to get a soda. How do you stop a bull from charging? You cancel his credit card. There you go. Does it every time. All right, Yenyer Cano trying to stop the bleeding right here. He's going to face Hao Yu Lee. All right, Yenyer Cano's ready. First pitch. Ground ball right back to him. Off his body. Cano's got it. Throw to first in time, and that's the inning. Good job by Yenyer Cano. He gets out of it. But couple runs in for Detroit. Keeps this a game. 7-5. Top of the 6 coming up. All right, let's go around Major League Baseball and see what the other scoreboards are looking like. Bottom of the 6th inning, Diamondbacks got a 2-1 lead over the Pirates. Top of the 6th, Marlins 5-3 over the Phillies. Bottom of the 5th, Blue Jays 3-1 over the Nationals. Bottom of the 5th, Braves Mets are tied 3-3. Bottom of the 1st, White Sox 3-0 over the Yankees. Everything else is later. That's it right now. Postponed. Guardians Reds are postponed. That's it. Everything else is later, and the Guardians Reds game was postponed. You guys ever have these? These little pretzel crisps? They're really thin. Put like spreadable cheese and stuff like that on them. They have different flavors. They have like everything, garlic, Parmesan, original, buffalo. These are really good. These are just the original. I do have the buffalo ones downstairs. I've had the garlic Parmesan ones as well. They're okay. I didn't dislike them. I just don't love them. And these are the plain ones. I prefer these with spreadable cheese. But for tonight, just something to kind of chow down on. All right, for the Orioles, back to the top of the lineup. Dylan Beavers, Pete Alonso, Gunnar Henderson. The Orioles have scored in 4 of the first 5 innings. And Detroit has scored in 3 of the first 5 innings. So, here we go. Tyler Holton in the game. 2.87 ERA on the season for him. Oh, and here comes... looks like Dylan Beavers is going to come out of the game, and they're going to pinch hit him with Tyler O'Neill. Tyler Holton, I guess, is a lefty, and they're going to have Tyler O'Neill come into the game. Yep. So lefty on righty. Tyler O'Neill's first at bat. Here's the pitch. Swinging a foul back, 0-1. Oh, 1 pitch. Swinging a foul back again. So quickly 0-2. All right, 0-2 pitch. Fly ball! Right, left field, at the track, at the wall, it's gone! Tyler O'Neill, pinch hit home run for the Orioles, and they get another run right back. So the manager with the right call, he pinch hit Dylan Beavers to get the righty into the game. And Tyler O'Neill rewards him with a solo leadoff pinch hit home run. 8-5 Birds. Wow, how about that? So good for Craig Abernathy. He made the right call there. Here's Pete Alonso. There's a ground ball. Shortstop in the hole. He's got to turn, make a long throw in plenty of time to get Alonso. And that's one down. 3 home runs for the Orioles so far today. All right, here's Gunnar. First pitch to him is a fastball or sinker low. 1-0. I'm going to be eating on stream, guys. Sorry. 1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike. 1-1. One pitch. Here it comes. Called strike. 1-2 on a sinker. And it was a strike. Gunnar wasn't happy about it. I don't know if he wasn't happy with himself or the call, but it was definitely a strike. 1-2. All right, Gunnar's ready. 1-2 pitch on the way. Here it comes. That's outside on a sweeper. Ball 2. 2-2. One for 3 with a single. Back in the first inning for Gunnar. 2-2 pitch. Outside on the cutter. Ball 3. 3-2. Taylor Ward is, for some reason, the number 4 hitter in this game, and he's on deck. 3-2 pitch. Walks him. Ball 4. Good takes by Gunnar. That's a good walk. He was down 0 and he was down 1-2 in the count, and he came back to get the walk. All right, so that's going to be it for the lefty. Detroit's going to pull Holton, and manager comes out to make the pitching change. So we're going to go to commercial break again. 8-5 Birds. $44 likes. Did we gain anybody tonight? I'm curious. Wow, we did. Thank you, guys. We actually gained a couple subscribers tonight. That's pretty awesome for us. Thank you so much. Looks like we gained 3 subscribers. We got up to 1,380. We got a chance to get to 1,400 maybe soon. That's good for us. We hit our light goal again. Our light goal was 40, and we're over our light goal. It's been another good night. I just hope the O's can top it off with a win. My record this year with the Orioles, it's not good. I know I'm under 500 with the Orioles this year. Every time I call an Oriole game, it seems like they lose. All right, Drew Anderson in the game. He's a righty. He's going to face Taylor Ward, who's also a righty. Here we go. First pitch. Curveball high, ball one. So 1 out, man on first. That's the other thing the Orioles don't have a lot of is a lot of stolen bases. Gunnar hasn't. Gunnar stole 30 last year. I don't even think he's got 10 this year. 1-0 pitch, nope. Throw over to first. Yeah, I don't even think Gunnar's got 10 stolen bases this year so far. 1-0 pitch. Here it comes. That's a called strike on a changeup inside corner. 1-1. And it looks like it probably does get the zone. It's just on the corner, but it probably is inside the zone. So it's definitely a good call by the ump. 1-1 pitch. Here it comes. There's a fastball just slow in the zone. Ball 2. 2-1. Remember, Detroit's down. See, I thought you only got 2. Because Detroit challenged one and they lost. 2-1 pitch. Outside, ball 3. Oh! That was outside. The umpire called it a strike. Wow, instead of 3-1, it's 2-2. Wow, that looked like a ball to me. So Taylor Ward's going to actually have to swing the bat now. 2-2 pitch. Ground ball, foul down the third base side. I think Taylor Ward forgot how to drive the ball. 2-2 pitch. Here it comes. Off the plate. Ball 3. 3-2. It was a fastball just off the plate. Runs the count full. Now, will the Orioles send Gunnar here? Is he going to go? There's only 1 out. He doesn't have to go. All right. Pitcher Anderson steps off. Jeff, what's up, man? Welcome in. Yeah, it's been a game for sure. 3-2 pitch. Here comes. There goes Gunnar. Here's a ground ball to third baseman deep in the hole. Long throw to first. It's going to be in plenty of time to get him. And Gunnar went all the way to third. So good running by Gunnar Henderson there. He was running on the pitch. And when the third baseman threw all the way across the diamond, he went all the way to third. But that's going to bring Tavares back up to the plate. So 2 down. First pitch is a ball. Curveball, ball, 1-0. Tavares does not have a very good day in the field. But he does have a home run. He's 1 for 3 with a home run. 1-0 pitch. There's a called strike on a changeup, 1-1. Yeah, Gunnar can definitely run. And that was good. That was smart to keep an eye on what was going on. Base hit here. Give the Orioles another run. Here's a pitch. Swing and then foul back. 1-2. 97 on the outside portion of the plate. Tavares got a piece of it. Wasn't able to do much with it, though. He's behind in the count now, 1-2. There's a pitch. High fastball. 2-2. Again, you're just looking to try to get a ball to hit, serve it into the outfield for a base hit here. All right, time called by catcher. 2-2 count on Leody Tavares. Man at third, 2 down. Here it comes. Nope, fouled off. We're going to do it again. So a 2-2 count on Leody Tavares. Anderson is set. Gunner's at third. Here's the pitch. That's a ball in the dirt. Good stop by the catcher on the curveball. 3-2 now is the count. Jackson Holliday's on deck. He's 3 for 3 in the game. Three-two pitch. Fly ball. Right field. Looks like it's going to be playable. At the track, the right fielder's got it. That's the inning. The Orioles do get a run back, though. Tyler O'Neill hits a home run. Heading to the bottom of the 6th inning, 8-5 Birds. Right now, player of the game. Yeah, who's player of the game for the Orioles right now? Is it Pete Alonso, 2 for 4 with a run scored? Is it Jackson Holliday, 3 for 3 with 2 runs scored? Is it Kobe Mayo, 2 for 3 with 2 runs scored and 3 RBIs? Jeff, that's a good question. It's a hard question to answer because obviously this week's going to play a big part on whether or not the Orioles are going to be sellers or buyers. I think Monday is the trade deadline, right? Monday the 3rd, August 3rd at 6 p.m. If the Orioles tread water this week and they're still 2.5 to 3 games out of the final wild card on Monday, they're buyers. If they fall apart this week and they're 6 games out, 5 games out going into the trade deadline, they might still be buyers. I think they should sell if that's the case. But we'll see. I think they're buyers ultimately. But the real key, Jeff, is what can they get as buyers? Because, again, I always tell folks, it takes 2 to tango. You know, first off, what do the Orioles have that other teams are going to want? And what are the Orioles willing to give up to get what the Orioles want? So there's a lot of different aspects to that. It's not as easy as, like I had somebody earlier say, trade Gunnar Henderson and Kobe Mayo to Detroit for Tarek Skubal. And I responded with, why would Detroit do that? Why would they do that? Where's the incentive for Detroit? I don't think they would do that. Kobe Mayo's a hitter. He's hitting under 200. I just don't see them doing that. 0-1 pitch. Here it comes. There's a ball off the plate. 1-1. I mean, maybe. But I don't know. I just don't see them doing that. I mean, I guess that could work. But why would the Orioles do that? For a rental? 1-1 pitch. Here's a called strike on the splitter. 2-1. The Orioles have to give something up off their major league roster. I just don't know they're at that point yet. All right, here's the 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, he got him. 1 down. Good job. Yenyer Cano makes a pitch. Oh, there's a squirrel in the field. They got to get him out of there.
Red and left field, a little bit white blade.
Huh. There's a squirrel out in left field. They're going to play on. All right, here's the next pitch. Splitter to Veerling is a ball. 1-0. Pitch. Here's a called strike. Another splitter. 2-0. I mean, 1-1. Sorry, 1-1. So 1-1 pitch. Here it comes. Fly ball, right field. That ball's hit pretty well. Tavares is at the track. He's got it. That's the first out. Or second out here in the bottom of the 6th inning. 2 down. That squirrel is still on the field. Oh, here comes Albernaz. He's going to come get Cano with 2 outs. So, Jeff, while we got a minute here, it's pitching change in the game. If you're Detroit, you are 3.5 games out of the final wild card. I get it. They're 5-6 games under 500. Are you going to still get rid of him? I mean, he's a free agent at the end of the season. He's not re-signing with Detroit. We all know that. Where's he going? I don't know where he's going, but he's not going back to Detroit. Is he going to go to New York? Is he going to go to Boston? Is he going to go to LA? Is he going to go to Chicago with the Cubs? Who knows? Probably. It's part of the ongoing issue I have with the whole salary cap issue in Major League Baseball, but I don't even want to get into that. I think we all know that there's only a handful of teams that a guy like a Tariq Skubal is going to sign with in the offseason. There are more than 20 teams that cannot sign him. You know that already. We know that. But anyway, I think it's an easier decision than you might think for Detroit. Even though they're 3.5 games out, I don't think they're going to keep him. I think they are going to let him go. But it's under the understanding that this is a rental, a 2-month rental, August and September, for whatever team gets him. So even though he's going to get a lot of offers, Jeff, I agree. They're not going to be out of this world blown away offers, because teams are going to come in saying, look, yes, we get him, but we only get him for 2 months. So you know what, Jeff? I agree with you, but it's part of the... All right, here we go. Lefty on lefty. Grant Wolfram in the game. First pitch. Called strike right there. 0-1 on McGonigal. Oh, 1 pitch on the way. Here it comes. Oh, here's called strike. Sinker. 0-2. McGonigal's 2 for 3 in the game. Oh, he challenged it. He loses the challenge. So McGonigal loses the challenge, and it's quickly 0-2, and that's one of the challenges for Detroit. I thought they challenged earlier and lost, but anyway, 0-2 count on McGonigal here. Wolfram's got him right where he wants him. Let's see if he can get him. 0-2 pitch. Just off the plate for a ball. 1-2. Wolfram thought he had him. One-two pitch. Here it comes. Off the plate on the slider. 2-2. Jeff, I want to right after this thing, I'm gonna follow up on that point when you talk about Tariq Skubal, because I have something else I want to say on him too. Come on, Wolfram, don't lose him here now. It's 2-2. You had him 0-2. Get him. Here we go. Oh, 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He got him. Strike 3. And that's the inning. No runs, no hits, no errors. Right into the top of the 7th inning. 8-5 Birds. So here's the thing. This is what I was saying, Jeff. I don't know if you're still there or not. Hopefully you are. It's part of the issue I have with the salary cap conundrum in Major League Baseball. I don't like the fact that these teams have these guys in expiring contracts and they know they can't re-sign them, so then they ship them off. I don't like that. I don't like that. I think the teams should try to hold on to players and say, you know what, we're going to re-sign this guy. We're gonna make a deal with him. But they can't do that. In today's financial structure of Major League Baseball, Detroit knows that even though they're only 3.5 games out, what you just said is exactly what they're thinking. We have to move him. We can't just let him walk away for nothing. And that's the problem. So I don't know. I just have I have such an inherent issue with the salary structure in Major League Baseball. I just do. I'm curious. Whenever, I don't know about everybody else out there, but collective bargaining agreement is over. As soon as the World Series ends, there's no longer a collective bargaining agreement between Major League Baseball and the Players Association. What's going on here? Come on. Back to live baseball, please. Let's go. My screen is giving me trouble here. All right, here we go. Sorry. I think I just missed something. I think Jackson Holliday got another hit. Yep, I'm sorry. Well, my TV is freezing on us, guys. I'm sorry. Jackson Holliday led off with a single, and so Holliday's now 4 for 4 in the game. Good for him. This is ridiculous. Come on. So, single for Jackson Holliday. He's now 4 for 4 in the game. Good for Holliday. I'm glad to see it. And for Holliday, he's gotten his average up to 245. I really think with Jackson Holliday, it's just a matter of just getting a chance to play. He'll be fine. Here's Mayo, first pitch, swing, fly ball. Center field, fairly deep, but it's going to be playable. Center fielder's got it. That's the out. One down here in the top of the 7th inning. I just haven't, I'm curious as to what everybody in the chat thinks. There's 17 in here. Are you on the player's side? Or are you on the owner's side? Collective bargaining agreement ends in December. As soon as the World Series is over, it's done. And I really have a feeling that we're not going to have baseball next year. I know that sounds almost unbelievable, but I really do. There's curveball for a ball. One high, 1-0. I really do. For me, player of the game has got to be Jackson Holliday at this point, Jeannie. He's 4 for 4. But Mayo's had the bigger game. 2 runs scored, 2 for 4. Oh, there goes Holliday. Throw to second in time. Threw him out. So Jackson Holliday is caught stealing. And that's the second out of the inning. Good throw by the catcher. A 1-1 count on Jeremiah Jackson. I put that on Jackson Holliday, though, right there. He shouldn't have been looking back. Just go. But Mayo's had the bigger game. In at least production-wise, 2 for 4, 2 runs scored, 3 RBIs. Jackson Holliday was 4 for 4, 2 runs scored, but no RBIs. So either one, Jeannie, I'm fine with. All right, 2-1 count on Jeremiah Jackson, top of the 7th inning, guys. 8-5 Birds lead. There's a ground ball right to the second baseman. He's got it. Throw to first in time. And the Orioles are done here in the 7th inning. No runs, 1 hit, nobody left. Bottom of the 7th coming up. 8-5 Birds. Anyway, point I was saying about collective bargaining agreement is I think there's going to be a work stoppage. I really do. I think the owners are going to kind of dig their heels in. And they really want to get a salary cap. It's the only major North American sport that doesn't have a salary cap. Period. What am I looking to acquire at the deadline? I think if I hear one more person say the Orioles need pitching, I think I'm gonna jump off a cliff. The Orioles have the best pitching staff in baseball since the end of May. They have a team combined ERA of like 3.49. The pitchers are not the issue right now. They're doing phenomenal. The Orioles, they need a third baseman. They don't really have a third baseman. Jordan Westberg, I think, is the guy they're hoping to still be the third baseman of the future. But you can't count on him. He's continuously hurt. Kobe Mayo is inconsistent. But what do they really need? Obviously, everybody needs bullpen help. But I don't know. I don't know what. I mean, I guess if the right trade came along and they could get a Tariq Skubal, okay, great. But who do you give up in that deal? I think one of your 4 starters that you have has to be included in that deal. So if you're going to go to Detroit and get a Tariq Skubal, Bradish, Baz, Trevor Rogers, one of those guys has to be in the deal to go back. I would think, but I could be wrong. I don't know. I don't know what they're going to go get. Who? I just don't know, Jeff. I mean, I think they need bullpen help. They only have one lefty out there, Grant Wolfram. You could really use another lefty in the bullpen. And, they really need a closer. We don't have a closer. And I can't rely on Felix Bautista. I think Ryan Helsley is done. I don't think he's coming back. They could probably use a closer, and they could use a lefty out of the bullpen. I don't think they're going to make a giant splash move. I don't. Fans are going to be mad, and they're going to say Elias is terrible, and he can't make the big trades. And the pundits around Major League Baseball say the same darn thing, and they're idiots. That's what's going to happen. I'm telling you. But I think they'll make the trades they need to make. We'll see. All right, here we go. Dingler, Colt Keith, and Riley Green coming to the plate. Grant Wolfram is still in the game in the bottom of the 7th inning. They're holding up play for some reason. All right, first pitch to Dingler. Here it comes. There's a called ball high, 1-0 on a fastball, 1-0. I'm fine with the minimum. That's fine too, Jeff, but I think there needs to be a cap. 1-0 pitch. Fly ball, that's gone. Left field, at the track. No, at the track! It's at the track. Taylor Ward makes the catch. Oh my gosh. Off the bat, I thought he got all of it. But it hung up, and that's the first out. It did not leave the yard. Wow. Off the bat, I thought Dylan Dingler had it. I thought it was gone.
He had to go rally them and give them the blueprint for how to let the poor guy go.
And eventually one of the Grunge crew members...
All right, so 1 down. That's going to bring Colt Keith to the plate. First pitch, here it comes. Here's a curveball for a strike, 1-0. Or 0-1. I don't know, Jeff. I don't know what side of the aisle you're on. I don't know if you're on the player's side or if you're on the owner's side. 0-1 pitch, here it comes. Curveball in the dirt, ball 1-1. I think the majority of people are on the player's side. I am one of the very few that are not. I'm on the owner's side. 1-1 pitch. Here it comes. There's a fastball high. That's a ball. 2-1. Two-one pitch. Here it comes. There's a called strike on a fastball. 2-2. All right, 2-2 pitch to Torres. Gleyber Torres. Here it is. Called strike 3 on the inside part of the plate. And Gleyber Torres is out. That's 2 down here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Yeah, I for me personally, I understand where the owners are coming from. I just do. I get it. You look at some of these salaries and some of these players, and the league minimum is like $600,000. Here's a called strike on a sinker, 0-1. I think that's the league minimum is like $600,000. Think about that. 0-1 pitch. Swinging and a miss. Strike. 0-2. Oh, 2 pitch. There's a swing and a foul back. But, Jeff, here's my thing. Here's what I'll say. Okay? It depends on what you mean by a competitive team. Because here's the thing. Even if your owner tries to go out and field a competitive team, he can't outbid teams like the Yankees and the Dodgers and the Cubs and the Mets and the Red Sox. 0-2 pitch. Pop up. That's going to get out of play. So, just because somebody's trying to be competitive doesn't mean they're going to be able to win. And that's what bothers me in this game. There's such a disparity that I don't really think there's that many owners out there that aren't trying to win. 0-2 pitch. Here it comes. Fly ball. Center field. Shallow. In comes Cowser, and he gets there. And that's the last out. No runs, no hits, no errors. Top of the 8th inning coming up. 8-5 Birds. Here's the thing. And again, I understand. I'm a baseball fan. I've been through some owners that don't spend money. Eli Jacobs for the Orioles was a penny pincher. He didn't spend money. Peter Angelos was fine. John Angelos, his son, and Lou Angelos, who took over when Peter was, not healthy, when his health declined, they didn't spend money. But ultimately, they own the team. It's their team. They can do what they want with it. We don't have to like it, but we have to live with it. It's their team. They have the bigger responsibility. They have the bigger risk, in my opinion. Owners do. Okay? They have the bigger risk. The players don't have a risk. Everything they do is guaranteed money. I'll give you an example. Again, Major League minimum, I think, is like $600,000. I think is the Major League minimum right now, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong, and you guys can all look it up and tell me if I'm wrong or not, or if I'm right. But I think the Major League minimum is like $600,000. That's a lot of money for a guy that barely plays. When I look at, for instance, a guy like, and I'm pulling his numbers up now, Ryan Mountcastle for the Orioles, who is terrible. He never plays. Okay? He's horrible. His numbers continue to decline every single year. Last year, Ryan Mountcastle hit 7 home runs and 35 RBIs, and he batted .250 for the Orioles. He scored 34 runs and he had 83 hits in 89 games. And he was hurt most of the year. And you know how much money Ryan Mountcastle made last year? Anybody want to guess how much he made last year? I'll tell you how much he made last year. He made $6.787 million for those numbers. Guaranteed. This year, he's even worse. He hasn't played since like April, and he's making $7.5 million. All right, here's Chadwick Trump. Here's a ground ball, dribbler. It's going to be up the line. Is it going to stay fair? No, it went foul, just down the third base line. We're going to do it again. So there you go, Jeff. Right, so the league minimum is $780,000. So Chadwick Trump, who's batting .178 for the Orioles and sucks offensively, he's terrible, is making $780,000. Go figure. These players make money out the yin, and they're totally guaranteed contracts. Whether they play or not, they're going to make the money. Anthony Rendon is making like $30 million a year for the Angels, and he doesn't play. He's always on the injured list. I'm sorry. These players make plenty of money. Oh, 1 pitch. Fouled off. Quickly 0-2. I'm sorry. And there's such a disparity on the haves and the have-nots. The Dodgers have shown that. I mean, they gave like 3 years, $180 million to Kyle Tucker. That's $60 million a year. 0-2 pitch. There's a ground ball to shortstop. Oh, he bobbles it. Throw to first. He's still in plenty of time to get Chadwick Trump, who I guess is running with a refrigerator on his back. So 1 down here in the top of the 8th. Oh, I forgot to do the score update. As soon as this inning's over, as soon as this half inning is over, I'll do a score update around Major League Baseball. We'll do an out-of-town score. Here's Colton Cowser getting his first at bat. Here's the pitch. Curveball high, ball 1. 1-0. Cowser, 207 on the year. 8 home runs, 27 RBIs. 1-0 pitch. Here it comes. Here's a called strike on a changeup. 1-1. One pitch. Fastball low. Ball 2. Two one pitch in the dirt. Ball 3. 3-1. Jeff, here's what I'll say. And this is why I'm going to disagree with you in a second here. Hold on 1 second. 3-1 pitch. In the dirt, ball 4. Colton Cowser's on with 1 out. The teams that don't spend money, I don't agree that they're ruining baseball just like the teams that are, like the Dodgers. And here's why I don't agree. Look at Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay doesn't spend any money. They're in one of the worst stadiums ever, and yet they're competitive every year because they draft and develop well. Here's a pitch to Pete Alonso, ball 1, 1-0. If the teams that don't spend drafted well and developed well and were consistently competitive and made the playoffs and made some runs, fans wouldn't care. 1-0 pitch. In the dirt, ball 2. That's why the Tampa Bay Rays, the fans are up there, they're not that upset. They are always competitive. Here they are again this year. They're in first place in their division. A team that spends no money, but they know how to draft and develop. 2-0 pitch. Here it comes. That's a ball in the dirt. Ball 3 to Alonso. I mean, look at the Mets. Spending money doesn't necessarily always mean you're going to be doing well. The Mets spend tons of money. They spent all that money on Juan Soto, and look at them. They're one of the worst teams in baseball. So it's not just about spending money; it's spending it well. But you also have to draft. 3-0 pitch, swinging away. There's a foul ball. 3-1. What's up, Horizons? Welcome in. So I think the biggest thing is just drafting well, developing your players, and doing the best you can. And to be honest with you, you can still pay some guys. You just can't pay everybody. 3-1 pitch. Here it comes. Swing and a miss. Strike. 3-2. He challenged him there. It was only 92 miles an hour, but he couldn't catch up. I mean, the White Sox. Horizons makes a good point. Look at the White Sox. They don't spend a ton of money. They've spent a little bit of money. Look at the Pirates this year. They don't spend a lot of money. They're in the hunt. So 3-2 pitch. Pop up. Shallow left field. Left fielder, he's under it. He's got it. That's the out. 2 down here in the top of the 8th inning. I get what you're saying. I don't want a team that doesn't spend any money either. But if that team drafts really well and develops well and puts a competitive team out there, I'm okay with it. Because they continue to recycle every year. So yes, Evan Longoria is drafted by Tampa Bay. When it comes time to have to pay him, they can't pay him. He moves on, but the next guy comes. All right, here's Gunnar. First pitch. In the dirt. There goes the runner down to second. Cowser is safe. Stolen base for Colton Cowser. And that's ball 1 to Gunnar Henderson. You know, Delman Young leaves Tampa Bay. Evan Longoria comes in. Evan Longoria leaves Tampa Bay. David Price comes in. You know, they keep just recycling players. And they continue to play baseball, and they're usually very good every single year. 1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss on a cutter, 1-1. I'm not saying that I give passes to those teams that don't spend a lot of money. But I think there's more to it than that. That's all I'm saying. 1-1 pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. Strike. 1-2. Gunnar is really having trouble with fastballs this year. Just can't catch up to him. One-two pitch. Here it comes. Foul back. We're going to do it again. I think the Orioles will be buyers, Horizon. I do. I think they're going to be buyers. 1-2 pitch. Here it comes. Swing and a miss. Got him. Strike 3 on Gunnar. He's terrible. Gunnar Henderson is not good for the Orioles. No runs. A man left. Bottom of the 8th coming up. 8-5 Birds. Man, Gunnar Henderson just not good. All right, let's go around Major League Baseball again. We're going to get some updates on the scores around town. Top of the 9th inning, D-backs and Pirates are tied 2-2. Bottom of the 8th, Phillies got a 7-5 lead over the Marlins. Top of the 8th, Blue Jays 3-2 over the Nationals. Bottom of the 7th, Mets 8-3 over the Braves. Top of the 4th, White Sox 3-0 over the Yankees. Everybody else is warming up. We got Cubs, Cardinals, Astros, Angels warming up. Red Sox, A's, Brewers, Giants are later. We have one final. Rangers 7-3 over the Mariners. And the Guardians, Reds were postponed. And it's one of those things. I don't know, Jeff. I get what you're saying, and I'm with you. I want teams to spend money too. I do. But, you know, the Mets. And again, the Mets are spending the most money because there's a lot of deferred money. And I think people have to remember that. The Mets payroll is $328 million. Dodgers are next, $302. Yankees are next, $292. Then the Blue Jays. Then the Phillies. Then the Braves. Then Houston. Then the Cubs. Then the Padres. And then the Tigers. Those are the top 10 in payrolls. The bottom 10 in payroll, Cleveland, the Guardians, Miami, the White Sox, the Cardinals, the Nationals, the A's, the Rays, the Pirates, Minnesota. But Cleveland's playing well this year. Chicago's playing well this year. Miami's playing well this year. Washington's playing better. Oakland's playing better. Tampa Bay's in first. Pittsburgh's over 500. Minnesota's playing better. So, I don't know. I mean, I get what you're saying. I do. I really understand that. But if you notice, the teams that are at the top are the teams that are always deep in the playoffs. And there's a reason for that. Because they can buy whoever they want to buy. You're right. They can buy whoever they want to buy. Nobody can outbid them. All right, here's Kittredge. Back in the game. There's a slider to Torkelson for a strike. 0-1. I don't know. I think part of it is a big part of it is how well you draft and develop your team. 0-1 pitch. Here's swinging a miss on a slider. 0-2. The Orioles, for the most part, drafts really, really well. But their Achilles heel for the Orioles has always been the development of their players. And I think you're seeing it again. They drafted Rutschman and Gunnar and Colton Cowser and Kobe Mayo and Jordan Westberg. All these Heston Kjerstad. 0-2 pitch. There's a line drive. Oh, off the glove of Jackson Holliday into left field for a base hit. He jumped for it. It was just off the top of his glove into left field for a base hit. All these guys the Orioles drafted were all highly touted guys. Nobody said, oh my God, terrible draft by the Orioles. No, Orioles were the number one farm system for years because they drafted well and they were highly touted players. But they haven't really been able to develop them. None of these guys have taken off into superstars. All right, so runner on. Here's first pitch. There's a called strike on the sinker. 0-1 to McKinstry, who's 2 for 2 in the game. The Orioles got to be careful here. It's 8-5. This game is still very close. It's only a 3-run lead. Kittredge has got to be careful here and get some outs. There's a fly ball. Right field and caught by Cowser, who makes the catch. He shuffles it to Leody Taveras, who then throws it in. Wow, Cowser makes a diving catch. I thought they were going to... Oh, my God. I thought the way that Taveras stopped, I thought that ball was going to drop. And Cowser dives for it and makes the catch. 1 down. That was almost disaster. Nice catch by Cowser. So 1 down. First pitch to Lee is a ball, 1-0. But you know what, Jeff? I don't know. I don't think the Dodgers draft that well. And again, they're always near the bottom of the draft, so it's hard to really get, impact players at the bottom of the draft when you're always winning. Here's a ground ball, third base side. That's going to be foul. Clayton Kershaw, okay, great draft when he was drafted by the team. And, some of these other guys are okay, but, you look at their team, Shohei Ohtani, Yamamoto, Sasaki, Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman, Kyle Tucker. They're all free agents. These aren't guys they drafted. They have a smart front office that knows how to go out and buy free agents. 1-1 pitch is a called strike. Oh, that ball gets by the catcher. And runner's going to move up to second. So 1-2 count on Lee, but the runner does move up to second. He's now in scoring position with 1 down. But I get what you're saying. Again, I'm not disagreeing with you at all. Guys, 49 likes, 1 like away from 50. Would love to make that. All right, Kittredge needs a big out right here. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Nope. It's a slider in the dirt. Ball 2, 2-2. No, I agree, Jeff. The Mets do not at all. Pete Alonso was a great draft. 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss on the slider. He got him. 2 down here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Great pitch by Andrew Kittredge right there. Out, bottom portion of the outside part of the plate. And Lee could not lay off, and that's the second out. That was nice. Here's Outman. He's 0 for 3. First pitch to him. Here it comes. Pop up. Shallow left field. In comes Taylor Ward. He's under it. He's got it. That's the out. And the Orioles get out of the inning. No runs. No hit. Well, 1 hit. Man left. Top of the 9th inning coming up. O's holding on to an 8-5 lead. See what they can do. I mean, you look at the Orioles. The Orioles are middle of the pack when it comes to salary. $167 million. But what are the Orioles trying to do? They're trying to they're trying to find ways of being stable, keeping a good core, and trying to go on a sustained run of winning. It's not working right now, but they're trying. You signed Pete Alonso for 5 years, Shane Baz for 5 years. You signed Sam Basayo for 8 years. You signed Kyle Bradish for 5 years. They're starting to find ways to sign these players and keep them and keep a core here. I like that. I think that's smart, and I like the signings. I'm not looking at any of these signings and saying, oh, terrible move. They're all good moves. All of these guys are young. Pete Alonso will be in his mid-30s when his contract is up. That's fine. But he's such a bona fide, legit hitter that it was a good signing by the Orioles. Yeah, no, throwing money at players doesn't mean you're going to be a good team. Look, my personal opinion is, I would never, and you're probably going to laugh at this, Jeff, I don't want a player like Juan Soto on my team. I don't want Juan Soto on my team. Okay? I just don't. Here's a guy, think about this now, for as great a talent as he is, he has played for how many different teams in his short career? 4, right? He's been with like 3 or 4 teams already in his career. Nobody wants to sign him long-term until he got to the Mets. Padres didn't want to keep him. Yankees didn't want to keep him. Nationals didn't want to keep him. Taylor Ward, first pitch. There's a fly ball foul down the right field line. I mean, that says something. You got that much talent and they don't want to sign you long-term? Cancer. He's not good in the dugout, I guess. 0-1 pitch. High, ball 1. 1-1. Yeah, well, again, you're darned if you do, you're darned if you don't. Swinging a foul, again, 1-2 on Taylor Ward. If the owners didn't sign these guys to big contracts, then the agents come back and saying, oh, it's collusion, they're purposely not signing these guys. They've done it in the past. 1-2 pitch. Outside on a fastball, ball 2, 2-2. So, you can't win either way. If the owners decide, you know what, I'm not paying you that kind of money. We're not paying you that kind of money. Sorry. And they all don't want to do it, then it's like, oh, it's collusion. 2-2 pitch. Check swing. Scott Boras, these guys, they get their contracts for sure. But again, what are you going to do? Yes, so is Jackson Holiday, Jeff. 2-2 pitch. Inside, ball 3, 3-2. But you know what? The player, Scott Boras works for the player. They don't work for him. He works for them. The players could very easily say, I want to sign this contract with the Orioles. I want to stay in Baltimore. Get it done. 3-2 pitch, ball 4 to Taylor Ward. Leadoff walk for the Birds. But again, baseball has become such a financial sport that everybody's like, get me the most money. Get me the most money. Get me the most money. That's what it seems like for the majority of it. There are some players here and there that might sign for a little bit less, but very seldom. It's always, who's going to offer me the most money? Who's going to offer me the most money? Here's Leody Taveras. First pitch, here's a strike for a fastball, 0-1. And that's part of the issue too, is, where there's no loyalty. I mean, players look at a team and say, oh man, this team offered me 150, but the Orioles only offered me 130. Where's the loyalty? There's a cutter for a ball, 1-1 to Leody Taveras. And to me, I'm like, they just offered you $130 million, and that's not loyalty? Sorry, it wasn't 150. All right, I'm rambling now, guys. 1-1 pitch to Taveras, swing and a miss, strike, 1-2. I think Tyler Wells will probably come out for the Orioles to close in the bottom of the ninth. Would be really nice if they could get a couple more runs here to put this game out of reach. 8-5 is still very much in reach for Detroit. 1-2 pitch, here it comes. There's a ground ball to the second baseman. He's going to flip it to second for one. Back to first. In time, just in time to get Tavares. And that's 2 quick outs here in the top of the 9th inning. That's going to bring Jackson Holliday to the plate. Holliday's 4 for 4 in this game. He's got 3 singles and a double in the game for Jackson Holliday. Would love to see him go 5 for 5. Let's see what he can do. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike. 0-1. 94-mile-an-hour fastball. He kind of challenged him there. Oh, 1 pitch. There's a ball high. 1-1. A 1-1 pitch on the way. Swing and a miss on a changeup. 1-2. That was really nice. He had him out in front of that one. Jackson was gearing up, and he pulled the string on him there. Love to see him get a 5 for 5 game. That would be amazing. 1-2 pitch. Here it comes. Swing and a foul back. We're going to do it again. I think Jackson Holliday is going to be just fine. I really think he's got a potential of being a really big star in this league. He's just got to stay healthy and get the at-bats. 1-2 pitch on the way. Swing and a miss on a changeup. He got him. Strike 3, and that's the inning. No runs, no hits, no errors. Bottom of the 9th coming up. This is it, gang. Yeah, I know, Jeff, for the Orioles, the last time, they signed the big contract with Chris Davis, which was such a huge mistake. But last guy I remember was Mike Messina. After he became a free agent, the Orioles signed him to an extension, 3-year extension, if I remember correctly. I think it was like 3 years, $21 million. It was like $7 million a year. And I remember the Players Association was mad at him for signing that deal. Tom Glavine, who I think at the time was the president of the Major League Baseball Players Association at that time, or one of the main people, was not happy with Mike Messina for signing that deal. And he's like, I wanted to stay in Baltimore. I took less to stay here. And, big deal. I could do what I want. But they weren't happy with him for that. I remember that. Now, of course, he left after those 3 years. He went to New York and had like 9 or 10 years in the Bronx. But I remember that. He signed that deal with the Orioles, and Tom Glavine was not happy because he signed that deal for less money. These are people that are making, and this is what I don't understand. This is why I get so upset. They're making millions upon millions of dollars to play a baseball game. And you're going to get mad because you're not making $200 million compared to $150 million? I don't know. Just can't fathom it. Mariners lost tonight, so if the Orioles win, they will be tied with the Mariners at the very least. I don't know what the Astros did tonight, but the Twins, Jeff, look at the Twins. 1 game out of the wild card spot, dude. You're like 1 game under 500. And not spending a lot of money, but you're competitive. All right, wow, Rico Garcia's in the game for the Orioles. Guys, 49 likes, 30 of you in here. Please hit that like button. Garcia's on the mound. He's going to try to get the save. He's going to face Matt Vierling and then back to the top of the lineup. So the 9-1-2 hitters. First pitch is a 4-seam fastball for a strike, 0-1. 9-1-2 for Detroit. Obviously, if you're Rico Garcia, you want to get this first guy. If you're Detroit, you need the leadoff man on. 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss on the slider. Quickly 0-2. Please hit that like button, gang. Would love to hit 50 likes before we end here. 0-2 count on Mr. Matt Vierling from Rico Garcia. Here's the pitch. That's a slider in the dirt. Ball 1, 1-2. All right, Garcia's at the belt. Here's the 1-2 pitch. High on a slider. Ball 2, 2-2. Hey, we hit 50 likes. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate that very much. 2-2 pitch. Here it comes. Here's a pop-up. That's going to get out of play. We're going to do it again. 8 runs, 12 hits, no errors for the Orioles. 5 runs, 11 hits, 1 error for Detroit to this point. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. He got him. Strike 3 on a slider, and that's the first out here in the bottom of the 9th inning for the Orioles. 2 outs to go. Rico Garcia went with a slider up and out over the plate, and Vierling wasn't able to get the bat on it, and that's the first out. So 1 down. That's going to bring McGonigal to the plate. McGonigal's 2 for 4 in the game. He's got a couple singles. First pitch. Swing and a miss. He got him. Strike. 0-1. That was nice. Ball's up, though. I don't like seeing the ball up in the air. You're able to elevate pitches when you leave it up like that. Garcia's got to bring the ball down a little bit. They're not catching up to it, but it could be a mistake. 0-1 pitch. There you go. That's a better one. That's down in the zone at 97. That's a swing and a foul back for 0-2. So quickly 0-2 on McGonigal here. Kevin McGonigal. I keep saying Kyle McGonigal. I have no idea why. Kevin McGonigal. 0-2 pitch. Outside with a changeup. Ball 1. 1-2. When Garcia can have his changeup working, it can be a really devastating pitch. It's an out pitch for him if he can control it, if he has his command. 1-2 pitch on the way. Here it comes. There's a curveball inside and low. Ball 2. 2-2. Welcome in, everybody. 53 likes. That's amazing. Thank you all. Orioles holding on to an 8-5 lead here. They got 1 out in the bottom of the 9th and a 2-2 count on Kevin McGonigal. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss on a fastball. Oh, no, he fouled it off. Oh, I didn't think he got a piece of it, but he did. Twins are off. Astros are later. Okay, thank you. Two-two pitch. Here it comes. That's a changeup low. Ball 3. 3-2. Don't walk him. Can't put any runners on right here if you're Rico Garcia. You don't want the tying run to even be a thought. 3-2 pitch. Here it comes. Oh, he's going to challenge it. It was a changeup up. Called ball 4, but the Orioles are challenging. I think we might win this challenge. And yes, it's a called strike 3. The Orioles win the challenge. They had to overturn it. It was ball 4 at first, but Chadwick Trump challenged it, wins the challenge, and that's strike 3 on McGonigal. Very nice. 2 down now in the inning. What a great challenge by Chadwick Trump. 2 down, and that's going to bring Dylan Dingler to the plate. He's 1 for 4. First pitch. Geez, slider in the dirt. That was like, you got 60 feet, 6 inches. That hit the dirt at like 55 feet. Well, so 1-0 count. Here we go. One-0 pitch. That's low. Ball 2 on a fastball. 2-0. Two-0 pitch. There's a called strike on a 4-seam fastball. 2-1. 97 out of the hand from Rico Garcia. 2-1. Here it comes. Swinging a pop-up. Foul ground on the first base side. Pete Alonso's going to give it a look. And he makes the catch. And that's the inning. And that's the game. Thanks, Jeff. Great talking to you too, buddy. Have a great night. And the Orioles get the win in the first game in this quick road trip. Orioles get the win. 8 runs, 12 hits, no errors. 5 runs, 11 hits, 1 error for Detroit. And the Orioles get the win. Player of the game, in my opinion. I got to give it to either Jackson Holliday, who was 4 for 5, or Kobe Mayo was 2 for 3 with 2 runs scored and 3 RBIs. Good day for him as well. Home runs from Kobe Mayo, Leody Taveras, and Tyler O'Neill. And the Orioles get the win. That's amazing. Good for them. That's a big win for the Bird. Grant Wolfram gets the win, the hold for Kittredge, and the save for Rico Garcia. Anyway, guys, thanks for joining me tonight. Hope everybody enjoyed this. I had a good time. Nice win. Thanks, D. Barker. Good to see you, buddy. Hope you all come back for another one. We'll see what we can do. Maybe we can call one later in the day, later in the week. Maybe the Philadelphia series at the end of the week. We'll try to get a game in there. Other than that, appreciate all of you very much. Thank you for any new subscribers. Ninja Watchers that are out there, appreciate you. If anybody likes Disney, I'll be at Disney World tomorrow at Disney's Hollywood Studios for a live stream. So come join us over there on our Disney channel. Other than that, go check out some of our videos in our Birdland Network channel. And other than that, thanks for joining us, gang. Hope you all have a great night. Until next time, take care of yourselves and each other. Again, final score, Orioles, big win. Orioles 8, Tigers 5. Have a good night, everybody. Thanks for being here.